Chapter 47-44. Lu Ming and the others were overjoyed. If the two demon royal families sent out their troops at the same time, he would be more confident in dealing with the heavenly palace. It seemed like they had to get the ancestral demon blood crystal. Actually, at the beginning, the four demon royal families had some ancestral demon blood crystal powder. However, the other two families had used it up due to other reasons. The silver-winged race and the purple-eyed race had kept it. It could only be said that they were under the ancestral demon's protection. Zi Xian sneered. Her voice was mocking, as if she was mocking the other two demon royal families. The dark universe was vast and boundless. Although it was not as vast as the universe, it was still extremely shocking. They took a few days to arrive at the location of the ancestral demon blood crystal. It was a vast and boundless plain. The ancestral demon blood crystal was in the center of the plain. Even from far away, they could see the light in the center of the plain. The barrier on the ancestral demon blood crystal covers a radius of 100,000 miles. We can't get close, Zi Xian said. At this moment, a group of demons flew over. Zi Xian, are they the human experts that you mentioned? A burly demon asked. This demon's eyes were not purple like Zi Xian's but black. However, his demon wings were silver, as if they were made of silver and had a metallic texture. He looked very similar to a human and was not as ferocious. The silver-winged race. Lu Ming and the others knew that this was most likely one of the four demon royal families, the silver-winged race. That's right, Yin Kong. They are human experts from the Heaven Destroyer. I have sent someone to inform you of the details. I believe you already know, Zi Xian said. Understood. Let's go. Yin Kong nodded. The group of people headed toward the center of the plain. Soon, they were close to the center of the plain. Zi Xian, Yin Kong, and the others stopped. If they continued forward, they would be close to the barrier. The ancestral demon blood crystal is in that treasure box. They stood in the sky and Zi Xian pointed ahead. With Lu Ming and the others' eyesight, it was easy for them to see things 100,000 miles away. As expected, there was a treasure box floating in the air 100,000 miles away. A light barrier emanated from the treasure box, enveloping an area of 100,000 miles. This light barrier was a barrier set up by the human monarch. Shao Qing, you guys stay here. I'll go alone, Lu Ming said to Xian Yanqing, Dandan, Wan Shen, and the others. No, I want to go with you. Xian Yanqing immediately shook his head. Yes, let's go together. The more people there are, the higher the chances. The myriad god added. No, you can't go. You're not humans. You'll be in great danger if you go. Lu Ming immediately refused. The celestial race and the abyss devils couldn't cross the barrier. The Dandan, the myriad god, and the bone demon weren't humans. The consequences of crossing the barrier were unpredictable. I am a human. Xian Yanqing looked at Lu Ming stubbornly. In the end, Lu Ming sighed. He knew that he couldn't persuade Xian Yanqing. He pulled Xian Yanqing's hand and said with a smile, then let's go together. Lu Ming pulled Xian Yanqing and flew forward. As he flew, he took Qiuqiu and handed it to the bone demon for safekeeping. Although they were humans, they didn't dare to be careless. The two of them were covered in layers of defensive energy, raising their defenses to the limit. At the same time, they were highly focused. If they sensed something wrong, they would immediately retreat. A moment later, the two of them charged into the barrier. They were fine. After the two of them charged into the barrier, they weren't attacked, nor were they turned to ashes. The abyss devils were overjoyed. They're really fine. That's great. Our race is saved. Zi Xian, Yin Kong, and the others were overjoyed. As abyss devils, they would immediately be attacked by the barrier and turned to ashes the moment they stepped into the barrier. It didn't matter how strong they were. However, Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing were completely fine. Sure enough, they guessed correctly. The barrier set up by the human monarch wouldn't attack humans. However, in reality, it wasn't that nothing happened at all as they imagined. The moment Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing stepped into the area where the barrier was, they felt a powerful pressure pressing down on them. Fortunately, with the two of their cultivation, it wasn't difficult to resist this pressure. Go! Lu Ming gave a light shout, his power erupting as he charged forward. With one step, he was 100 miles away. Xian Yanqing's speed was also extremely fast, not much slower than Lu Ming. In less than a minute, the two of them charged out a distance of 50,000 miles. But after arriving here, the two of their speed became slower and slower. Because the closer they got to the treasure box, the greater the pressure they suffered. Arriving here, they could no longer maintain their previous speed. They could only reduce their speed and advance slowly. Outside the barrier, Zi Xian and the others also saw the problem. It seems that although they weren't attacked by the barrier, they seemed to be under a lot of pressure. Zi Xian said, "It should be. Based on the situation, the closer they are to the treasure box, the greater the pressure. Let's hope they can reach the bottom." Yin Kong sighed. All the evil demons had grave expressions, afraid that Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing wouldn't reach the end and obtain the demon ancestor blood crystal. Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing slowed down and maintained a constant speed. The distance between them and the treasure box was also constantly shrinking. 50,000 miles, 40,000 miles, 30,000 miles, soon, they were less than 10,000 miles away from the treasure box. However, when they stepped within 10,000 miles, the pressure on them suddenly increased. Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing's bodies couldn't help but sway. Zi Xian, Yin Kong, and the others' hearts also trembled along with Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing's bodies. "Little Qing, can you still hold on?" Lu Ming asked. "This little bit of pressure is nothing." Xian Yanqing smiled and continued to move forward. A faint devil's steel appeared on her body, breaking through the heavy pressure. That was the immeasurable devil's steel. "I must reach the end and obtain the demon ancestor blood crystal. This is the only way to resist the heavenly palace." Lu Ming roared in his heart, and the battle symbol art's ninefold battle power erupted. Forbidden power circulated crazily as he continued to move forward. 10,000 miles, 9,000 miles, 8,000 miles, the distance between them continued to shrink, and in the end, they entered the range of 1,000 miles. Within the range of 1,000 miles, the pressure rose sharply. Bang! Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing's bodies shook violently, and they retreated several steps. Zi Xian, Yin Kong, and the others' hearts shook violently, and their faces paled. "Can't we break through?" Zi Xian whispered, and despair flashed in her eyes. If they couldn't obtain the demon ancestor blood crystal, the evil demons would face the end of the world. Their remaining demon ancestor blood crystal powder wouldn't be able to hold on for too long. As time passed, the power of the demon ancestor blood crystal powder would be exhausted, and they would no longer be able to suppress the demon ancestor insect. At that time, they would also be corroded by the demon ancestor insect and become the heavenly human tribe's puppets. That would be worse than death. Chapter 47-45. I don't believe it. Break for me. Xian Yanqing bellowed. The immeasurable devil's steel appeared above her head, and a powerful energy rushed into Xian Yanqing's body. Bang! 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 Xian Yanqing took several steps forward, entering the range of 1,000 li. When Xian Yanqing entered the range of 1,000 li, her body shook violently as if she had suffered a heavy blow. Even the immeasurable devil's steel shook violently. Xian Yanqing staggered backward again, vomiting a mouthful of blood, and her face was pale. "Little Qing, don't force yourself. Leave the rest to me," Lu Ming said to Xian Yanqing. Then, he also stepped forward. When he took a step forward, he circulated his strength to the limit, and even the origin energy inside the origin seed burst out. Bang! He also stepped into the range of 1,000 li. In an instant, an earth-shattering power pressed down on Lu Ming. Lu Ming's body trembled, and he roared angrily, trying his best to resist this power. If only I had the human king's body with me. At this time, a thought flashed through Lu Ming's mind. The barrier here was laid down by the human king. If the human king's body was with him, he could probably break the barrier here and successfully obtain the Archdevil Ancestor's blood crystal. But now, the human king's body was with Fei Huang, and it had sealed itself along with her. At that time, who would have thought that something like this would happen? If he had known, Lu Ming would have brought the human king's body with him. But it was too late for regrets now. Now, he could only rely on himself. Break! Lu Ming roared, and he circulated his strength to the limit. Dots of light appeared on his body, and these dots of light connected to each other, forming a door. Behind the door, a yellow muddy road appeared, leading to the depths of darkness. On the yellow muddy road, there was a pool of fresh blood. At this time, the pool of blood suddenly emitted a bright light, as if there was a force rushing forward. In an instant, the pressure on Lu Ming disappeared without a trace. Lu Ming was dumbfounded. What was going on? Why did the pressure from the outside world disappear? Was it because of this pool of blood? Just now, this pool of blood emitting a bright light had been successfully captured by Lu Ming. That's right, it must be because of this pool of blood. What was the origin of this pool of blood that it was so mysterious? This was the second time. The first time, when Lu Ming was in the immortal burial sea of blood in the Thousand Autumns battlefield, he was in a desperate situation and entered a mysterious state. At that time, there was a strange movement in the pool of blood. A gush of energy surged into Lu Ming's body, causing his combat ability to soar, and he killed a powerful enemy in one fell swoop. And now, the pool of blood had changed again. But this time, it was different. This time, Lu Ming did not enter that state. The bloodstains did not gush into Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming's strength did not increase. The bloodstains seemed to have only eliminated the external pressure. Why? Why did the pool of blood was drawn by the barrier? Lu Ming could not figure it out. However, now was not the time to think about this. Getting the demon ancestor blood crystal was more important. Without the pressure, Lu Ming's speed suddenly increased. Like a bolt of lightning, he rushed to the treasure box. In just an instant, Lu Ming arrived beside the treasure box. This, Zi Xian, Yin Kong, and the others were stunned. They did not understand why Lu Ming, who looked like he could not bear it, suddenly increased his speed and rushed to the treasure box. The treasure box was half open. A fist-sized gem lay in the treasure box. The gem was blood red, as if it was condensed from blood. It emitted an ancient aura. This was the demon ancestor blood crystal. Lu Ming reached out to open the treasure box. Without any obstruction, he took out the demon ancestor blood crystal from the treasure box. It was unobstructed. Swoosh! After getting the demon ancestor blood crystal, Lu Ming did not stop. He quickly retreated. He retreated for about 100,000 miles, but he was still within the boundary of the barrier. I got it. The demon ancestor blood crystal. It's really the demon ancestor blood crystal. I can feel the blood in my body boiling. How many years has it been? The demon ancestor blood crystal has finally appeared again. Ha ha ha. All the demons around were ecstatic and excited. They finally got the demon ancestor blood crystal. They were saved. All the demons stared at Lu Ming with burning eyes. Only a few people calmed down quickly, such as Zi Xian and Yin Kong. They saw that Lu Ming did not immediately walk out of the boundary of the barrier. A strange look flashed in their eyes. Brother Lu Ming, do you have any other conditions? Just say it. Zi Xian said. She was unusually intelligent. When she saw that Lu Ming did not immediately walk out of the barrier, she knew that Lu Ming most likely had other conditions. That's right. I do have a condition. When your two races walk out of the dark universe and head to the universe's starry sky, I hope that you will restrain your subordinates and not kill the innocent. Lu Ming said. After all, demons were evil, bloodthirsty, and greedy. Especially those ordinary demons. Once the demons entered the primitive universe, they would be like wild beasts that had escaped from their cages. They would probably hunt the creatures of the primitive universe without restraint. All living beings would become food for the evil demons, plunging them into misery and suffering. Although Lu Ming was not that kind, he did not want to see the entire universe suffer because of him. I can promise you that. Restrain your subordinates. After all, our enemy is only the heavenly human race. Zi Xian said. I can also promise you that. Yin Kong nodded. But Brother Lu, after all, there are many demons. It's impossible to completely restrain them. We can only try our best. There will still be some killings. Zi Xian said again. As long as you try your best to restrain them. Lu Ming nodded. It was impossible for the demons to enter the universe so peacefully. It would definitely cause a disaster. If he had a choice, Lu Ming did not want to let the demons enter the universe's starry sky. However, he had no other choice but to do so. Swoosh. Lu Ming moved and left the boundary. He came to Zi Xian and the others. Who will take care of the ancestral demon blood crystal? Lu Ming asked. We've already discussed it. The two races will take turns to take care of it. However, the most important thing now is to get rid of the ancestral demon worm. Yin Kong, I'll bring the ancestral demon blood crystal back to Purple-Eyed Demon City. You guys immediately return to Purple-Eyed Demon City to get rid of the ancestral demon worm. Zi Xian said. Alright, let's do that. Yin Kong said. Yin Kong immediately brought all the members of the Silver Wing clan back to the Silver Wing clan to gather their people. Meanwhile, Zi Xian brought Lu Ming and the others back to Purple-Eyed Demon City. There was a small lake in the north of Purple-Eyed Demon City. The lake was not big. It was only about 10 miles wide. The lake water was light red and there were many purple-eyed demons soaking in it. The ancestral demon blood crystals powder was mixed in the lake water. The demons in the lake were using the power of the ancestral demon blood crystals powder to suppress the ancestral demon worm in their bodies. Chapter 47-46. At this moment, the small lake was surrounded by purple-eyed demons. These demons stared at Zi Xian with burning eyes. They had heard that a few humans had helped Zi Xian bring back the ancestral demon blood crystal. They were saved. Under the gazes of countless demons, Zi Xian took out the ancestral demon blood crystal. Is this the ancestral demon blood crystal? It must be. I can sense an ancient and lofty aura from it. It's as if I'm just a speck of dust in front of it. It must be the ancestral demon blood crystal. Many demons were discussing excitedly. Zi Xian carried the ancestral demon blood crystal and stepped into the air. She came to the center of the lake and slowly descended. She and the ancestral demon blood crystal sank into the lake. The moment the ancestral demon blood crystal entered the lake, strands of red energy spread out and fused into the lake. The color of the lake quickly darkened. It was originally light red, but it quickly turned dark red. Soon, all the lake water turned dark red, like blood. At this moment, the demons in the lake suddenly trembled. Their faces revealed complicated expressions of pain and joy. On the shore, all the demons watched nervously. They prayed that it would be useful to destroy the ancestral demon worms. This process lasted for about an hour. After an hour, all the demons in the lake suddenly trembled. Their faces revealed extremely comfortable expressions. Following that, black smoke rose from their bodies. When the black smoke dissipated, all the demons opened their eyes. Ha ha ha, the ancestral demon worms in my body are all gone. Me too. Not a single one of them is left. They're all destroyed. I've recovered. The ancestral demon blood crystal is really useful. The demons in the lake laughed wildly. They were extremely excited. Whoosh! The demons on the shore were also excited. They were wild with joy. They were saved. They were saved. The energy of the ancestral demon blood crystal could indeed completely destroy the ancestral demon worms. Whoosh! Whoosh! The demons in the lake rushed out of the lake and stood high in the sky. Zi Xian also rushed out of the lake with the ancestral demon blood crystal. She carefully observed the ancestral demon blood crystal and found that it had not changed. Its energy was still abundant. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, and the others were overjoyed. If the ancestral demon blood crystal was effective, then they had the power to deal with the heavenly palace. Heaven Destroyer. There was finally some hope. Next batch, enter the lake. Zi Xian's voice sounded. Splash. Splash, several figures dashed into the lake. The lake had a circumference of 10 miles, so it was quite easy for 100,000 demons to enter at once. About 100,000 demons entered the lake. This time, Zi Xian did not put the fiend ancestor blood crystal into the lake because the color of the lake was still very dark. The energy was still abundant. About an hour later, the second batch of 100,000 abyss devils that entered the lake also succeeded. The demon ancestor worms in their bodies were all wiped out. The ancestral demon blood crystals blood crystal demon ancestral demon worms. Demon. The ancestral demon worms as demon worms the demons demon crystal demons. The fourth followed. Blood ran batch demon blood after 5 batches. The lake's water finally faded. Zi Xian put the ancestral demon blood crystal back into the lake. Soon, the lake turned dark red again. As one of the 4 great royal races, the purple-eyed demons had a large population. Not to mention the side branches, just the main branch alone numbered in the billions. 100,000 per hour was too slow. It would take a few years to kill 1 billion purple-eyed demons. Not to mention the side branches and the silver-winged demons. It would take too long to eliminate all the ancestral demon worms. However, it was impossible not to eliminate all of them. As time passed, those demons would be completely corroded and controlled by the heavenly palace. That would be even more troublesome. Finally, they decided to find another place to eliminate the ancestral demon worms. They found a large lake. The lake had a radius of 100,000 miles. It was not difficult for billions of demons to enter at once. Zi Xian put the ancestral demon blood crystal into the large lake. The ancestral demon blood crystal immediately emitted strands of red energy. The lake water quickly turned red. In less than a day, the lake water within a radius of 100,000 miles had turned dark red. Zi Xian took out the ancestral demon blood crystal. She found that the ancestral demon blood crystal's energy had only decreased a little. Compared to the vast energy of the ancestral demon blood crystal, it was just a drop in the ocean. Begin. Zi Xian shouted. Swish. Swish. Countless demons rushed into the lake. There were countless demons. There were at least billions of them. Billions of demons. It was simply overwhelming. An hour later, the ancestral demon worms in the billions of demons were eliminated by the energy of the ancestral demon blood crystal. There were cheers at the scene. Next was the silver-winged demon race. Yin Kong had already brought all the silver-winged demons here. The silver-winged demons also entered the lake and spent an hour to eliminate the ancestral demon worms in their bodies. Just like that, in just a few days, all the demons under the 2 great royal races had eliminated the ancestral demon worms. There was still a trace of the ancestral demon blood crystal's energy in their bodies. They were not afraid of the ancestral demon worms in the air. At least in the short term, they would not be corroded by the ancestral demon worms. The 2 great royal demon races naturally cheered and were wild with joy. They were even more grateful to Lu Ming and the others for being able to bring out the ancestral demon blood crystal. 3 days later, a large number of experts had gathered in the silver-winged demon's demon capital. Zi Xian brought a large number of purple-eyed demons experts here. Lu Ming and the others were naturally among them. This was because they were going to set off from here and kill their way into the primitive universe. The reason why they came to the silver-winged demon's demon capital was because the silver-winged demons had a supreme treasure called the Demon Fortress of Yin Ruins. This supreme treasure required a large number of experts to activate. It was extremely powerful. The most powerful thing was its defensive power. Once activated, its defensive power would be astonishing. They planned to ride the Demon Fortress of Yin Ruins and kill their way into the primitive universe. After all, the Heavenly Palace now controlled a large number of experts. There were more than 22,000 Divine Lord Realm experts. The total number of Divine Lord Realm demons that the purple-eyed demons and silver-winged demons could mobilize was only about 5,000. It was far less than the Heavenly Palace. It was very dangerous to rashly kill their way out. They needed a treasure like the Demon Fortress of Yin Ruins. According to Yin Kong, activating the Demon Fortress of Yin Ruins required 120,000 Demon Emperor Realm demons and 3,600 Demon Lord Realm demons. If the two great royal races worked together, they would be able to mobilize these demons. The Demon Emperor Realm was equivalent to the God Emperor Realm. The number of Demon Emperors in this realm was much higher than the Demon Lord Realm. Whether it was God Emperors or Demon Emperors, they were much easier to reach than Divine Lords or Demon Lords. The Divine Lord Realm was a huge hurdle. In the primitive universe, only 1 out of 100 God Emperors could break through to the Divine Lord Realm. Chapter 47-47. A huge metal fortress floated above the silver-winged demonic city. This was the Demon Fortress of Yin Ruins. Let's go. Let's go. Yin Kong and Zi Xian both gave their orders. Immediately, the experts of the two royal demon families flew towards the Demon Fortress of Yin Ruins. There were a total of 120,000 demon emperors and 5,000 demon lords. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, and the others naturally followed them into the Demon Fortress of Yin Ruins. Not long after, the 120,000 demon emperors and 3,600 demon lords all arrived and began to activate the Demon Fortress of Yin Ruins. Rumble. The Demon Fortress of Yin Ruins roared and flew out, disappearing above the silver-winged demonic city in the blink of an eye. As it flew out, the Demon Fortress of Yin Ruins quickly shrank until it was the size of an ordinary room. The speed of the Demon Fortress of Yin Ruins was astonishing. Not long after, they flew across the boundless territory and arrived outside Southern Sky City, where the illusory Heavenly Palace cultivated in the dark universe. Of course, there was still some distance between them and the Heavenly Palace did not discover them. Lu Ming, Yin Yi, Zi Xian, and the others gathered together to discuss. This is the city built by the Heavenly Palace. Let's charge in and destroy them. That's right. Since the Heavenly Palace does not have a demon lord guarding it, destroying them will be a piece of cake. A few demon experts said. Their eyes were filled with murderous intent and hatred. Those who could speak here were all top experts at the peak of the demon lord level and extremely powerful. I don't think it's appropriate. Lu Ming shook his head. Why is it inappropriate? A burly demon stared at Lu Ming. If not for the fact that Lu Ming had done them a great favor, he would have scolded him. If we attack here, the upper echelons of the Heavenly Palace will quickly receive the news and send experts to surround us. Lu Ming said. We have the Demon Fortress of Yin Ruins. Why should we be afraid of them? This time, we will kill our way into the primitive universe and fight the Heavenly Palace to the death. A burly demon roared. He looked like he wanted to kill the people from the Heavenly Palace. Lu Ming shook his head. It looked like most demons weren't good at using their brains. No wonder they had been toyed around by the heavenly human tribe and trapped in the dark universe for their entire lives. We Abyss Devils have always stayed in the Dark Universe. We're not familiar with the current situation of the primitive universe. However, Lu Ming and the others are much more familiar with it. Let's listen to their opinions. Zi Xian waved her hand, indicating for the other demons not to speak and to listen to Lu Ming. We have too few experts in a head-on confrontation, which is extremely disadvantageous for us. We need to maximize our value. As for the city in front of us, there are no experts at all. Even if we destroy it, it won't be a great loss to the heavenly human tribe. It won't affect the heavenly human tribe's overall battle strength at all. Lu Ming said. You're right. In that case, what should we do next? Zi Xian nodded and asked. Our biggest advantage now is that the heavenly human tribe doesn't know that you've gotten rid of the demon ancestor worm, so they don't guard against you at all. So, we need to do more things before they find out. It has to be something big, something more valuable than attacking this city. Lu Ming said. Brother Lu, please continue. Zi Xian said. The other demons also came to their senses and nodded, agreeing that it was indeed so. I know that the Heavenly Palace has a heavenly prison where many prisoners are kept. Of course, these prisoners refer to the Heavenly Palace's prisoners. All of them have a deep grudge against the Heavenly Palace and the heavenly human tribe. There are many experts among them. If we let them out first, it will definitely be a headache for the Heavenly Palace. It will also definitely be able to reduce the combat strength of the heavenly human tribe. Lu Ming said. Heavenly prison? I see. Alright, then we'll listen to Brother Lu. After we get out, the first thing we'll do is to attack the heavenly prison. Zi Xian, Yin Kong, and the others nodded in agreement. I have a spatial treasure that can temporarily hide the demon castle of Yin ruins and take it out quietly. It won't attract the attention of the heavenly palace. Lu Ming said. After that, Lu Ming, Dandan, Xian Yanqing, and the others left the demon castle of Yin ruins. Lu Ming put the demon castle of Yin ruins into the chaos ring. They quietly entered Nantian City and left the dark universe through Nantian City, returning to the primitive universe. After arriving in the primitive universe, Lu Ming took the demon castle of Yin ruins out of the chaos ring. Is this the primitive universe? Ha ha ha, I didn't expect to come to the primitive universe in my lifetime. Is this the universe? It's so beautiful. All the Abyss Devils looked at the universe through the demon castle of Yin ruins, including Zi Xian. They were stunned for a moment. After a while, they came back to their senses. Lu Ming entered the demon castle of Yin ruins and discussed the next steps with Zi Xian and the others. At the same time, Lu Ming pointed in the direction of the heavenly prison. The demon castle of Yin ruins emitted strong ripples as it broke through space and rushed toward the heavenly prison. Each of the 4 heavenly palaces had an entrance to the heavenly prison. Lu Ming didn't know the entrances to the other 3 heavenly palaces, but Lu Ming knew the entrance to the heavenly prison in the dreamy heavenly palace. The heavenly prison's entrance wasn't too far from the dark universe's entrance. It didn't take long for them to arrive. At this point, Lu Ming put the demon castle of Yin ruins back into the chaos ring. Only a few of them remained outside. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Dandan, Gu Mo, Wan Shen, Zi Xian, Yin Kong, and more than a dozen peak demon lords. There are some heavenly humans guarding the entrance. However, there's only one divine lord. The rest are all god emperors. A peak demon lord scanned the area with his spiritual consciousness. The heavenly humans around the heavenly prison's entrance had nowhere to hide. Obviously, there were more experts guarding this place in the past. However, the divine lords had been transferred away recently to attack the Heaven Destroyer. Only one divine lord was left to guard this place. Moreover, he wasn't very strong. Attack. Kill them as fast as you can. Don't alert the others. Zi Xian ordered. Whoosh. Whoosh. Lu Ming and the others turned into streaks of light and rushed toward a palace. Especially the dozen peak demon lords. Their speed was too fast. They rushed into the palace in a few breaths. In the palace, there was only one divine lord and a few dozen god emperors. Facing more than a dozen peak demon lords, the gap was too big. They couldn't resist at all. They were killed before they could even resist. By the time Lu Ming and the group entered the main hall, the entire main hall had already been taken over. Then, they gathered around the entrance. "Dandan, I'll leave the rest to you," Lu Ming said. This was because there was a rune array seal around the entrance. They wanted to open the seal without making a sound. "Don't worry. Leave it to me. This array is very simple. It won't take long for it to be broken silently." Dandan grinned and began to break the array. Chapter 47-48. This time, Dandan wasn't bragging. In just a little over an hour, Dandan broke the seal and opened the entrance to the heavenly prison. Next, Zi Xian left behind a few peak demon lord experts to guard the place. If there was anything wrong, they would send a message to them. As for the others, they all followed Lu Ming and the others into the heavenly prison. "Heavenly human tribe, you didn't expect me to return to the heavenly prison like this, did you?" Lu Ming stood in midair, looking at the vast land of the heavenly prison. His eyes shone brightly. The heavenly prison was still the same as before. The heart flame devil fire would constantly invade one's body, causing one's negative emotions to explode. In the end, the heart demon would erupt and cause one to go completely crazy. This was very similar to the infinite demon's soul of the infinite demon abyss. The infinite demon's soul could also trigger the negative emotions of living beings, causing their heart demon to erupt. In the end, they would be controlled by the heart demon and fall into madness. However, the heart flame devil fire's power was far inferior to the infinite demon soul. The infinite demon soul could easily affect even peak divine master existences. As for the heart flame devil fire, it had almost no effect on divine master existences. Lu Ming and the others easily blocked the attack of the heart flame devil fire. "Let's go." Lu Ming identified the direction and flew in a certain direction. Xian Yanqing, Dandan, Zi Xian, and the others followed. There weren't many of them, only a dozen or so. The other abyss devils were in the demon castle of Yin ruins and were placed in the chaos ring by Lu Ming. It was more convenient to move with fewer people. However, after Lu Ming and the rest flew for a distance, they were stopped by someone. 8 figures blocked their path. "Hee, unfamiliar faces that I've never seen before. Are you new here? Then become our playthings." One of the elders sneered. These 8 people looked at Lu Ming and the others with eyes full of murderous intent, coldness, anticipation, and viciousness. Their eyes were blood red. Lu Ming could tell at a glance that these people had been attacked by the heart flame devil fire. Their negative emotions had erupted, and the evil side of their hearts had been completely revealed. They would do some perverted things. Why talk so much nonsense with them? "This chick is mine. I'll torture her well, ha ha ha." A burly man laughed wildly. His blood-red eyes stared fixedly at Xian Yanqing, filled with greed. He laughed heartily as he charged towards Xian Yanqing. A large hand reached out to grab Xian Yanqing. 8th Great Supreme God Layer. The big man had the strength of the 8th Great Supreme God Layer. He was one of the strongest cultivators in the prison. "You're courting death." Dandan sighed. He knew that the burly man was dead meat. Sure enough, when the burly man was about to approach Xian Yanqing, an aura silently spread out from Xian Yanqing's body. The burly man's body suddenly stiffened in the air, his eyes filled with fear. Then, like dust, his body was blown away by the wind and completely turned into ashes. The other 7 people opened their eyes wide. "What kind of despicable trick did you use?" shouted the gloomy old man. He was bewildered. "Get lost!" shouted Lu Ming. He didn't want to waste time talking nonsense with them. His divine master realm aura burst out and pressed down on them. Plop, plop, the 7 people were pressed down by Lu Ming's aura and fell to the ground like raindrops. Ah, it's a divine master, the 7 people screamed in fear. At that moment, the heart flame devil fire seemed to have disappeared. They felt cold all over. There was no ferociousness or murderous intent in their eyes, only fear. There was a divine master realm cultivator among them. Could it be that they weren't imprisoned? Could they be experts from the heavenly palace? Get lost! Shouted Lu Ming coldly. He withdrew his aura. Run! The 7 people felt as if they had been pardoned. They didn't dare to stay any longer. In the blink of an eye, they all fled. Lu Ming didn't kill them because he couldn't be bothered to. They were only affected by the heart flame devil fire. Moreover, if they were released later, they could affect the heavenly palace a little. This was just a small interlude. They continued their journey. After that, they would occasionally encounter those crazy people who would attack them, but they were easily dealt with by them. Those who were completely crazy were easily killed by them. As for those who still had a little bit of intelligence, as long as Lu Ming and the rest released a trace of aura, the other party would flee in horror. Lu Ming and the rest didn't spend too much time before they arrived at the place where the Sky Heart tribe used to live. When Lu Ming arrived, he realized that something was wrong. The place where the Sky Heart tribe lived was much more dilapidated than before. Lu Ming released his spiritual senses and realized that the number of people in the Sky Heart tribe was much less than before. Moreover, many of them seemed to be in bad states. They had been invaded by the heart flame devil fire. Lu Ming immediately determined that the Sky Heart tribe members who were in bad states had been invaded by the heart flame devil fire. They were filled with tyrannical emotions. How could this be? The Sky Heart tribe was able to refine jades of the heart flame devil fire. Back then, Lu Ming had used jades of the heart to resist the invasion of the heart flame devil fire. How could the Sky Heart tribe members who could refine jades of the heart be invaded by the heart flame devil fire? Suddenly, Lu Ming's eyes flickered. He realized that he was familiar with a few people. The clan leader of the Sky Heart tribe, Xian Fan. There was also an elder of the Sky Heart tribe, Xian Wu. Lu Ming was more familiar with these 2 people back then. They seemed to have gathered to discuss something. Let's go! Lu Ming shouted. In a flash, they disappeared from their original positions. In the next instant, they appeared in front of Xian Fan and the rest. Who are you? Xian Fan and the rest were shocked. They had not realized that someone was so close to them. Their hair stood on end and they instinctively retreated. Clan leader Xian Fan, elder Xian Wu, it's me. Lu Ming said. It's you, Mu Yun. Soon, Xinfan and the rest saw Lu Ming clearly and exclaimed in shock. When Lu Ming first entered this place, he had used the name Mu Yun. When they saw that it was Lu Ming, Xian Fan and the rest calmed down. Mu Yun, why are you here again? Didn't the people of the heavenly human tribes say that you had escaped? Are you captured again? Xian Fan asked in astonishment. Everyone, Mu Yun is actually my alias. My real name is Lu Ming. Lu Ming explained. Lu Ming. Xian Fan and the rest nodded. They were not too surprised. It was normal to use an alias when roaming the outside world. There was nothing to be surprised about. I wasn't captured. I barged in on my own accord. Lu Ming said. What? Xian Fan and the rest were dumbfounded. Someone had barged into the heavenly prison on his own accord. Wasn't he walking right into a trap? They could not figure it out. Everyone, what's going on with the Sky Heart tribe? Also, all of you seem to have been invaded by the heart flame demon fire. Lu Ming said. He realized that Xian Fan, Xian Wu, and the rest seemed to have been invaded by the heart flame demon fire. They were not in the right state. It was just that their cultivation base was high enough to suppress it. Chapter 47-49. Sigh, we have to start from when Lu Ming left. Xian Fan sighed and continued to explain. It turned out that not long after Lu Ming and the third demon sword had escaped, the heavenly human tribe had arrived and pinned the blame of Lu Ming and the third demon sword's escape on the Sky Heart tribe. They had killed many members of the Sky Heart tribe. In the end, they discovered the secret of the Jades of Heart and took away all the Jades of Heart. They also ordered the Sky Heart tribe not to refine any more Jades of Heart. The heavenly human tribe would send people to investigate every once in a while. If they found that the Sky Heart tribe continued to refine Jades of Heart, they would kill some of the Sky Heart tribe members as punishment. The Sky Heart tribe had no choice but to do as they were told. All these years, many of the Sky Heart tribe members were tortured by the Heart Flame Demon Fire. Lu Ming sighed in his heart. It seemed like the Sky Heart tribe was implicated. However, he would save the Sky Heart tribe members this time to repay their kindness. Xian Fan, I promised you that I would save all of you if I had the chance. This time, I am here to bring all of you out. Lu Ming said. Bring us out? Xian Fan, Xian Wu, and the others were stunned. Lu Ming could bring them out. There were many powerful figures guarding the vicinity of the prison. There were quite a number of Almighty Realm experts. Would Lu Ming be able to bring them out? There is a huge change in the chaotic universe. There are no experts from the Heavenly Palace around the Heavenly Prison. Don't worry, we can enter and leave easily. Lu Ming said. Xian Fan and the others were still skeptical. They looked at Zi Xian and the others. Although Zi Xian and the others were evil demons, they looked no different from humans. Moreover, they kept their evil demon wings. Their cultivation was much higher than Xian Fan and the others. Therefore, Xian Fan and the others did not recognize Zi Xian and the others as evil demons. Don't you want to get out? Zi Xian said as a powerful aura emanated from her body. Almighty. Xian Fan and the others were shocked. They did not expect Zi Xian to be a almighty at such a young age. This time, Lu Ming actually brought a divine master powerhouse in. Could he really bring them out? Their eyes were filled with hope and a hint of excitement. Clan leader Xian Fan, I'll have to trouble you to quickly gather all the Sky Heart clansmen. Also, send someone to spread the news in the heavenly prison. Tell them that they can leave the heavenly prison and ask everyone to wait at the exit, Lu Ming said. Good, good. Xian Fan nodded repeatedly. Then, he instructed an elder to carry out the task. This was their only chance to escape, so they had to take the risk. Clan leader Xian Fan, I'm going to another prison. There are more experts locked up there. I want to save them all. Lu Ming said. Alright, let's go. Elder Xian Fan and the others led Lu Ming to the entrance of another prison. Back then, this place had been sealed by chains formed by the power of void. Back then, it had taken Lu Ming many years to break the seal. But now, this place was sealed again. It was still the enormous chains, still the power of void destruction. The difference was that the number of chains had increased from 49 to 81. After you left, the experts of the heavenly human tribe came and sealed this place again. I'm afraid it will take a long time to break it. Clan leader Xian Fan sighed. Back then, Lu Ming took 490 years to break the 49 chains. Now that there were 81 chains, how long would it take? They were a little worried. They were afraid that they would not be able to leave if they delayed too long. Don't worry, it won't take too long. Lu Ming stepped out and walked towards the chains. As he did so, Lu Ming released his aura. Boom! The void was shrouded by Lu Ming's aura. Xian Fan, Xian Wu, and the others almost fell to their knees. Their eyes were wide open and their faces were filled with shock. They exclaimed, Divine Master, it's the Divine Master. Gosh, he's definitely not an ordinary Divine Master. I've felt this aura before. He's an advanced Divine Master. Xian Fan and the others were shocked beyond words. Their hearts were in turmoil and they could not calm down. How many years had it been? How many years had it been? Lu Ming had reached such a cultivation level. How did he cultivate? Was he still human? Lu Ming took a step forward and his body grew rapidly. Soon, he had turned into a huge figure. With a palm strike, forbidden energy surged out and rushed towards the chains. Lu Ming's current cultivation was many times more powerful than it had been in the past. When the chains formed by the void energy came into contact with the forbidden energy, they melted like snow meeting fire. In just a few breaths' time, the chains were refined. In the past, Lu Ming needed 10 years. Now, he only needed a few breaths' time. The main reason was that Lu Ming's cultivation had increased by leaps and bounds. Boom! Boom! Lu Ming did not stop. Both of his palms struck out continuously. A vast taboo force gushed out continuously, refining the annihility chains continuously. In just a few minutes, all 81 chains had been refined. The entrance to the other great prison was revealed. Let's go. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Dandan, Zi Xian, and the others rushed into the entrance and disappeared. Let's go and take a look. Xian Fan and the others gritted their teeth and followed. The other great prison did not seem to have changed much. In the vast universe, there were many huge corpses floating in the air. These corpses were mostly the corpses of divine masters. There were all kinds of races. There were corpses of the dragon race, phoenix race, sky heart race, heaven and earth race, primordial divine spirit race. Many races, had once been incomparably glorious in history, but now, they had all disappeared. Our divine masters, clan leader Xian Fan and the others looked distressed. Clan leader Xian Fan, how many divine masters did the Sky Heart race have in total? Lu Ming asked. When we were at our peak, we had close to 200 divine masters. However, when we were attacked by the heavenly human race, many of them died in battle. However, there are still more than 100 left. Clan leader Xian Fan said. However, there are only a dozen corpses of divine masters in the Sky Heart race, Lu Ming said. Young friend Lu Ming, are you saying that there might still be divine masters alive in our race? Xian Fan and the others' eyes lit up. It's just a guess. I can't guarantee it. Lu Ming said. This was something that he had already suspected before. Although there were many corpses floating in the great prison, there were only a dozen corpses of divine masters in the Sky Heart race. The Sky Heart race used to be one of the top 10 races. Naturally, they had more than a dozen divine masters. Where were the other divine masters? Were they all turned into ashes? Chapter 4750. After that, Lu Ming and the others searched carefully. As for the divine master corpses, Lu Ming did not plan to take them away. The main reason was that many of the divine master corpses were too big. For example, the corpses of some primordial gods were as big as planets. Although Lu Ming's primordial ring was not small, it could not take away so many corpses. He might as well leave them here. However, Lu Ming put away some broken divine weapons. Of course, most of these broken divine weapons were primary-grade divine weapons. It was almost impossible for them to be broken source-grade divine weapons because the heavenly human race would not leave them here. After circling around, they arrived at the region of black holes. There were some black holes in the universe here. Back then, the third demon's sword had been imprisoned in a black hole. Those who could be imprisoned in a black hole were definitely experts. There's a sealing power. Has it sealed itself? Lu Ming and the others passed by a black hole. From afar, they could see a stone coffin in the center of the black hole. There were some runes and formations on the coffin. They guessed that there was very likely an origin realm existence in the coffin, but it had sealed itself because of the origin tribulation. Then, they circled around again. There were many black holes here, but only a few of them seemed to have life inside. Most of the black holes might have things like stone coffins, but they might also be empty. This was because the power of the black holes was very shocking. Even divine masters would find it difficult to cross and would be torn apart. Even Lu Ming and the others found it difficult to enter with their current strength. Even if they forced their way in, it would be difficult for them to come out. Back then, Lu Ming had only been able to enter and leave because of the third demon sword. These black holes are very likely to imprison origin realm existences. Zi Xian sighed. Lu Ming also sighed inside. He estimated that there were more than a dozen origin realm experts imprisoned in these black holes. Unfortunately, it was the origin tribulation now. Even if those origin realm experts did not die, they had used their remaining power to seal themselves. If it were in the past, they could think of a way to save these people. There doesn't seem to be any divine masters in this prison. There's nothing other than corpses. Xian Yanqing frowned. Maybe there are other prisons. Lu Ming said. This was because something wasn't right. Could it be that the celestial race had killed all of the divine master realm existences? According to the celestial human tribe's way of doing things, this shouldn't be the case. Perhaps there was a heavenly prison that was specially used to imprison divine masters. Perhaps these heavenly prisons were all connected. Let's look around carefully. Lu Ming said. Everyone continued to search, not missing a single inch. Just like that, they searched for a few days and finally found something. Dandan discovered an anomaly in a certain area. It seemed to be the fluctuation of an array formation. Dandan used his technique, and as expected, a huge vortex appeared in the air. The vortex was sealed by chains. It was still a chain formed from the power of void. The eyes of Lu Ming and the others lit up. It was very likely that this was the passageway that led to another prison. Previously, it had been concealed by a concealment formation. If it weren't for Dandan's proficiency in formations, it wouldn't have been easy to find. Then, Lu Ming took action and used his forbidden power to break the void destruction chains. Then, they entered the vortex. Through the vortex, they entered an unfamiliar world. There was no heart flame demonic fire in this place. It was just that the divine chi of heaven and earth was somewhat dry. As far as the eye could see, it was a desolate place. Look, there's a tower over there. Dandan shouted. The others also saw a tower in the distance. It was at least 100 zhang tall. Let's go take a look. Lu Ming said. Everyone flew toward the tower. As they got closer, everyone was shocked. It was a metal tower. The interior of the tower was hollow, and a figure could be seen floating in midair. His body was bound by metal chains, and the other end of the metal chains was connected to the metal tower. The bottom of the metal tower was hollow. It was a bottomless cave. There was a kind of flame constantly rushing out from the bottom, covering the figure in the metal tower. Heart flame demonic fire. Lu Ming could tell at a glance that the flame rushing out from the bottom of the metal tower was heart flame demonic fire. It was just that the density of the heart flame demonic fire was many times denser than the heavenly prison of the sky heart race. Since the heart flame demonic fire was so many times denser, its might would definitely be much stronger as well. Even divine lords would find it hard to resist. As though sensing Lu Ming and the others, the figure in the metal tower opened his eyes. His eyes were blood red, filled with violent emotions as he struggled madly. Clang, 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 those chains vibrated unceasingly, letting out clanging sounds. Bastard of the heavenly palace, kill me if you can, kill me if you can, despicable and shameless bastard, the figure in the metal tower roared in anger. His long hair fluttered in the wind, and he was so angry that he was about to go crazy. This was a middle-aged man. What shocked Lu Ming was that this man was from one of the top 10 races, the Battle Saint tribe. Didn't the Battle Saint tribe submit to the heavenly human race? The heavenly palace actually imprisoned an expert from the Battle Saint tribe here? Clearly, the heavenly human race imprisoned this man in the metal tower, making him suffer the torture of the heart-flame demonic fire. Such methods were truly ruthless. We aren't people from the heavenly palace. Lu Ming spoke. Bullshit, don't think that you can lie to me. The heavenly jade butterfly has already been taken away by you guys. How long do you guys want to imprison me for? If you have the capabilities, just kill me. Kill me. The muscular man from the Battle Saint tribe howled unceasingly. Clearly, he was suffering endless torture here and wanted to die. I've already said that we aren't people from the heavenly palace. We are from the Heaven Destroyer. As he spoke, Lu Ming took out his battle god spear and swept it out, aiming for the metal tower. Boom! The battle god spear slammed into the metal tower, causing it to directly explode. Many of the chains that were wrapped around the burly man's body also exploded. Boom! The moment the chains shattered, the muscular man from the Battle Saint tribe was like a ferocious tiger that was released from its cage. A powerful aura erupted forth as his body swelled up. Violent energy gushed forth from him, shattering the remaining chains that coiled around him. Swish! The muscular man soared into the air and rushed towards Lu Ming and the others. Whether you guys are from the heavenly palace or not, I will know after I personally capture you and perform a soul search on you. The muscular man coldly spoke. Clearly, he was greatly affected by the devil fire and was filled with tyrannical emotions. The moment he was released, he wanted to kill crazily to vent his emotions. Divine Lord Realm, and a peak-level Divine Lord Realm expert at that. Lu Ming wasn't shocked. Instead, he felt joy. Judging from the aura the muscular man exuded, he was actually a peak-level Divine Lord Realm expert. In that case, this place was indeed a prison used to imprison divine lords. Leave it to me. Bone Demon spoke. His figure shot out like a bolt of lightning as he blasted out with his palm, colliding with the muscular man's attack. Bang! How could the muscular man be a match for Bone Demon? With just a single strike, the muscular man's body trembled violently as he retreated explosively, coughing out blood. Bone Demon's combat prowess was equivalent to the strongest Lord of Heaven. Since the muscular man was trapped here, his combat prowess wasn't at his peak at all. The disparity between him and Bone Demon was too great. Chapter 47-51. After Guemo injured his opponent, he didn't stop and continued to attack. With a swipe of his bone claws, they expanded rapidly, enveloping the entire space as he grabbed at the expert from the Battle Saint tribe. Roar! His opponent roared in rage and did his best to defend. However, it was useless. The disparity was too great. Also, Gumo's body was incomparably tough. No matter how his opponent attacked, it was useless. At the next instant, his opponent was grabbed by Gumo's bone claws. Crackling sounds rang out from his body as it was unknown how many of his bones were broken. After that, Guemo smashed his opponent onto the ground, causing him to be unable to attack for a period of time. After being beaten up by Guemo, his opponent seemed to have regained some clarity. Wait a minute, are you guys really not from the heavenly palace? The expert from the Battle Saint tribe shouted. Nonsense. If we are from the heavenly palace, why would we release you? Since you are so arrogant, you would already be dead. Also, don't compare us to those bastards from the heavenly palace. Bah, those bastards. Dandan coldly snorted, his face filled with disdain. The eyes of the expert from the Battle Saint tribe flashed. Actually, he was already somewhat convinced. There was no way the people from the heavenly palace would break the metal tower to release him. However, if these people weren't from the heavenly palace, how did they enter? Hence, he directly asked, since you guys aren't from the heavenly palace, how did you guys enter this place? Right now, a great change has occurred in the universe. The celestial race, the demons, and the Heaven Destroyer are all fighting against each other. The heavenly prison became empty and hence, we came in. Oh right, we are from the Heaven Destroyer. Lu Ming spoke. You guys are from the Heaven Destroyer? Wait a minute, you guys came in from the outside. Doesn't that mean that you guys can break out from the inside? The eyes of the expert from the Battle Saint tribe brightened. He had been imprisoned here for several stellar years. Now that there was a chance, he naturally wanted to break out. Of course we can. We have already passed through 2 heavenly prisons and connected them. Oh right, is this the place where God Lords are imprisoned? Lu Ming asked. That's right. This is the heavenly prison for divine lords. The heavenly palace imprisons all the divine lords who haven't died yet. Each divine lord is locked up in a metal tower and tortured by the heart flame demon fire. If they can't take it anymore and fall into madness, they'll become puppets of the heavenly human race and be controlled by them. An expert from the Battle Saint tribe spoke. What? Lu Ming's pupils constricted slightly. It seemed that the use of the heart flame devil fire had exceeded his imagination. He had previously thought that some people would surrender to the celestial tribe on their own accord because they couldn't withstand the torment of the heart flame demonic fire. Meanwhile, those who had completely sunk into madness would eventually die of madness. It seemed that he had still underestimated the heavenly human tribe. The celestial race actually had a way to control those who had completely fallen into madness and turn them into their puppets. Since you are from the Battle Saint tribe and the Battle Saint tribe isn't a lackey of the celestial race? Oh, a subordinate? Why were you captured? Dandan asked. This is how despicable and shameless the celestial race is. The eyes of the expert from the Battle Saint tribe flashed with bone-deep hatred. Once, me and a few of my tribesmen obtained a supreme treasure called the Heavenly Jade Plate in a ruin in the universe. Who would have thought that the celestial race would find out about it and ambushed us along the way? 2 of my tribesmen died while I was captured by the celestial race. The Heavenly Jade Plate was taken away and I was imprisoned here, being tortured. Right now, my tribesmen have no idea that I was imprisoned here. They might think that I died in the ruins of the universe. I will definitely take revenge for this, the expert from the Battle Saint tribe roared in rage. At the same time, he gave a simple explanation of his origins. This person was called Battle God Wuji and was a peak expert of the Battle Saint tribe. At the same time, he was also a peak-level monstrous genius. In the future, he would definitely be able to break through to the origin realm. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing and the others glanced at each other as joy flashed in their eyes. If they released this person and he returned to the Battle Saint tribe, he might cause a great impact to the Battle Saint tribe. If the Battle Saint tribe was extremely dissatisfied with the celestial race because of this, that would be for the best. There's no time to lose. Let's move out immediately and release the other deity lords. Lu Ming spoke. I will go with you guys. Battle God Wuji spoke. Lu Ming nodded. They didn't delay and flew forward. Not long after, they discovered another metal pagoda. Within the metal pagoda, there was another deity lord imprisoned. This deity lord was actually a deity lord from the heaven and earth race. The heaven and earth race was one of the top 10 races in the past, but they were destroyed by the celestial race. The remaining members of their race were all trapped in the heaven destroyer. They didn't expect that there would still be someone who wasn't dead and was imprisoned here by the celestial race. This was normal. Although the lifespan of a deity lord couldn't be compared to an origin realm expert who could live as long as the universe, the lifespan of a deity lord was extremely long. It wasn't a problem for them to live for hundreds of years or even longer. For example, the primordial god race had a deity lord who had survived from the incipient god era until now. Therefore, although the heaven and earth race had been destroyed for a very long time, it was normal for their deity lord to be able to survive until now. Boom! Lu Ming smashed the metal pagoda with a single move, saving the deity lord from the heaven and earth race. If you want to leave this place, go to the exit. Lu Ming didn't waste any more words. He pointed out the direction of the exit and they left in a flash. Although the deity lord was tortured severely by the heart flame devil fire and his eyes were filled with malevolence and madness, he hadn't completely lost his mind. He still retained a trace of consciousness. With the cultivation of a deity lord, once he escaped from the heart flame devil fire, it was still possible for him to suppress the negative emotions in his heart and slowly recover. True enough, after Lu Ming and the others left, the powerhouses of the Heaven and Earth clan managed to recover and dashed toward the exit. Not long after, Lu Ming and the others saw the third metal pagoda. "It's a deity lord of my race," Xian Wu clan leader suddenly shouted, extremely agitated. The person imprisoned in the metal pagoda was a deity lord of the Heaven's heart race. As expected, not all of the deity lords of the Heaven's heart race had died. Some of them were still alive, but they were imprisoned here. Boom! This time, Xian Yanqing took action. He took out the primordial god weapon and smashed the metal pagoda, freeing the deity lord of the Heaven's heart race. The souls of the Heaven's heart race were extremely powerful to begin with. They were also extremely strong against the heart flame devil fire. After escaping from the heart flame devil fire, they quickly regained their consciousness. They were naturally overjoyed when they saw Xian Wu and the others. At the same time, they were informed that there were at least a few dozen deity lords of the Heaven's heart race that were still alive. This made Xian Wu and the others even more overjoyed. They continued to set off. The metal pagoda was discovered one by one. A deity lord was imprisoned in most of the metal pagoda. They were very direct. They smashed the metal pagoda and told the deity lord that he could leave. They pointed out the direction of the exit and left immediately. Chapter 4752. Needless to say, Lu Ming knew that the divine masters imprisoned here would not miss any opportunity. Even if they did not believe Lu Ming and the others, they would not give up as long as there was a chance. They had been tortured here all this time. Even if there was only a slight chance, they would still try. They would definitely head toward the exit. Therefore, Lu Ming and the others moved quickly. In a little more than a day, they had walked around the entire prison. The main reason was that the prison was not very big. There were not many divine masters in the first place. The place where the divine masters were imprisoned was naturally not that big. After walking around, Lu Ming counted silently in his heart. He was shocked to discover that they had released a total of 918 almighty. This was a shocking number. They were all divine masters, not godly emperors or godly sovereigns. There were not many races on the list of 10,000 primitive races that had divine masters. Races ranked below 1 or 200 usually did not have any divine masters. There were 918 divine masters in this prison. Of course, these divine masters came from various races. For example, the Heaven and Earth race, the Sky Heart race, the Dragon race, and other races that had been destroyed. There were also experts from the current top 10 races, such as the Battle Saint tribe and the Buddha race. There were also primitive divine spirits and experts from the human race. There were only so many divine masters from various races combined. Of course, Lu Ming did not plan to take these divine masters away. He wanted to bring them along with the demons to deal with the heavenly human race. There was no need for that. These divine masters came from various races. They were greatly affected by the heart flame and devil fire. They were difficult to control and would not listen to him obediently. It was better to let these divine masters go and let them act alone. These divine masters had been tortured by the heavenly human race for many years. Their hatred for the heavenly human race was overwhelming. After they left, they would definitely not leave the matter at that. They would definitely wreak havoc on the heavenly human race. This way, the heavenly human race would definitely send some divine masters to deal with these people. This way, they would be able to restrain some of the divine masters from the heavenly human race and relieve some of the pressure on the Heaven Destroyer. "Let's go," Lu Ming said. They also headed toward the exit. Not long after, they returned to the first prison. At this moment, most of the Sky Heart tribe members had already gathered together. Lu Ming kept all of them into his chaotic desolation ring before heading towards the exit. Swoosh swoosh, along the way, people could be seen flying towards the exit from time to time. There were divine masters in the third prison, and there were also existences below the Divine Masters in the first prison. Clearly, the Sky Heart race had already spread the news. After that, there was no need for Lu Ming and the others to intervene. All they had to do was wait for these people to go out and wreak havoc for the heavenly human tribe. They quickly flew to the exit and left. There, they saw the fiend expert standing guard outside. After asking around, he learned that many living beings had already escaped from the prison. Lu Ming, where are we going next? Zi Xian asked. After the trip to the prison, they were very impressed with Lu Ming. On this trip, they had released 918 Divine Masters, as well as a large number of existences below the Divine Master level. These people were scattered all over the place, which was enough to give the heavenly human tribe a headache. It was more effective than fighting the heavenly human tribe directly. Let's go to the heavenly palace, the dreamy heavenly palace. Lu Ming's eyes shone brightly as he spoke. That's right, he was going to attack the heavenly palace. Now that the experts of the heavenly palace were gathered at the Heaven Destroyer base, the heavenly palace's defenses must be extremely weak. There was no better opportunity than now. There must be a lot of treasures in the heavenly palace. If they could take down the heavenly palace, the heavenly human tribe would definitely go crazy. On the other hand, Lu Ming had another idea, and that was the desolate crystals. He really needed the desolate crystals for his cultivation. Not only him, but Dandan and the myriad gods also needed the desolate crystals for their cultivation. A heavenly palace would more or less have some desolate crystals. Attack the heavenly palace? That's great. Zi Xian, Yin Kong, and the other abyss devils' eyes lit up. Attacking the heavenly palace was every abyss devil's dream. Let's go. I roughly know the location of the dreamy heavenly palace. Lu Ming said. Then, Lu Ming released the demon fortress of Yin Ruins, and everyone entered it. Then, the demon fortress of Yin Ruins soared into the sky and flew in the direction Lu Ming had pointed out. Lu Ming had never been to the real dreamy heavenly palace. When he was a heavenly soldier, he had always stayed in Dreamy City. Dreamy City wasn't the dreamy heavenly palace. It was just an outer city. However, he had been a heavenly soldier for a long time, and he had heard the rough location of the dreamy heavenly palace. It shouldn't be too far from Dreamy City. Before long, Lu Ming and the others found something. A spectacular scene appeared in the starry sky. In the starry sky, there were 360 stars and 3,600 planets. They were arranged in a row, forming a large formation. This formation surrounded a huge palace. This palace was made of stone. It was incomparably huge, no smaller than a planet. Looking at it from afar, one could feel an ancient and desolate aura. Is this the dreamy heavenly palace? It's really extravagant, using 360 stars and 3,600 planets to form a formation. Lu Ming muttered. He couldn't help but marvel at the heavenly palace's extravagance. The most extraordinary thing is that stone palace, which is the dreamy heavenly palace. It's a treasure left behind from the previous era. Zi Xian said. A treasure from the previous era? Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Dandan, and the others were shocked and exclaimed. Yes, and it's a treasure of the human race. The eldritch continent of the previous era was truly vast and boundless. The human race ruled over countless territories, and naturally, it was divided into countless forces of various sizes, such as sects and countries. Among them, there was a king of a country. In order to guard the borders, he built 9 stone palaces to guard the borders and suppress the fate of the country. Later, the eldritch universe was destroyed. For some reason, the heavenly human race actually obtained these 9 stone palaces and used them as the foundation to build the heavenly palace. Zi Xian explained. It seemed that the demons knew a lot about the heavenly human race. As expected of a race left behind from the previous era. It said that there were a total of 9 heavenly palaces in the past. It seems that the 9 stone palaces were used as the foundation, but it seems that 4 of them have been destroyed. Lu Ming muttered. Although these stone palaces have gone through the change of eras and are no longer the same as before, even Origin Realm existences can't destroy them. It's only possible if there's someone who has surpassed Origin Realm. Zi Xian said. We don't need to destroy them. We just need to take all the treasures inside. Dandan, do you have a way to break this formation? Lu Ming laughed and then asked Dandan. This formation is indeed very powerful. It borrows the power of the stars. If it was operated by some divine lords, I wouldn't be able to do anything. But now, the formation is operating on its own, so it's much easier. I can find its weak points and then gather the attacks of many divine lords to break this formation. Dandan said. Chapter 47-53. Dandan was very confident. He flew forward as soon as he finished speaking. The others did not go out. They stayed in the demon fortress of Een ruins. The demon fortress of Een ruins shrunk and hid behind a meteorite. It was not time for them to show themselves yet. Dandan's appearance was enough. Dandan flew to the edge of the formation and began to observe it. Who is it? This is the Heavenly Palace. Do you have a death wish? A loud roar came from the Heavenly Palace. Then, a group of heavenly soldiers and heavenly generals flew out. The one who roared was a heavenly human tribe heavenly general. He was a god emperor. Dandan did not bother with them. He continued to observe the formation. How dare you? Go out and kill him. A heavenly general roared. They rushed out. Clearly, the formation did not hinder the heavenly soldiers and heavenly generals. They quickly rushed out of the formation and rushed toward Dandan. You are the ones who have a death wish. Dandan shouted coldly. He waved his hand and a large formation appeared in the void. Sword light burst out and charged toward the heavenly soldiers and heavenly generals. Oh no! It's a divine master. Retreat! A heavenly general shouted in fear. But it was too late. How could they catch up with Dandan? The sword light swept across and killed all the heavenly soldiers and heavenly generals. Not a single one was left alive. Damn it! A furious roar came from the heavenly palace. This scene was naturally seen by the people in the heavenly palace. The other party is a divine master. What should we do? Quickly inform Lord Yi Chu Xiaochuan. He is now the strongest person in the heavenly palace. Some heavenly generals discussed and then immediately transmitted their voices. There were still divine masters in the dreamy heavenly palace, although there were only a few of them. Soon after, a burly figure stepped out of the void. This person's aura was strong. He was a 9th-level divine master. He rushed toward Dandan and shouted, "How dare you trespass into the heavenly palace? Die! Help!" Dandan shouted and quickly retreated. As for the other party, he quickly rushed out of the range of the array and rushed towards Dandan. "Leave him to me," Guemo said. He left the devil castle of Een ruins and took a step forward. The space around him split apart and he disappeared into it. In the next moment, a pitch-black bone claw suddenly extended from the top of the heavenly human expert's head. Like a demonic blade, it slashed at the heavenly human expert's head. The other party also noticed it in time. With a furious roar, he blocked with all his strength and slashed his sword at the bone demon's bone claw. With a loud clang, the battle sword of the heavenly human race elite was shattered into pieces. The bone palm did not stop there as it continued to chop down on the head of the heavenly human race elite. With a plop, this 9th-level divine master of the celestial race fell. Inside the heavenly palace, the heavenly soldiers and heavenly generals turned pale with fright. The other party has hidden experts and came prepared. Quick, spread the news, spread the news. Get people to spread the news to the various lords in the universe ruins. A divine master expert roared furiously. Immediately, someone began to spread the news. Of course, the base of the Heaven Destroyer was too far away from the heavenly human race elite. Moreover, it was deep in the universe ruins. They could not send the news directly to the universe ruins. They could only spread the news to other places first. Then, the people in other places would spread the news to the experts in the universe ruins. Lu Ming and the others were calm. This was within their expectations. It was only a matter of time before they were exposed. Since they had come to attack the dreamy heavenly palace, they would definitely be exposed. However, the base of the Heaven Destroyer was extremely far away from here. By the time the experts of the heavenly palace received the news and sent people over, they would most likely have succeeded. Dandan continued to study the array without any distractions. In the blink of an eye, 3 days had passed. Dandan finally found the weak point of the array. Whoosh! Lu Ming and the others took action. The Devil Castle of Yin ruins flew out and rapidly grew in size. At the same time, Lu Ming and the others, as well as a large number of Divine Master experts, flew out. Their terrifying auras shook the starry sky. The heavenly soldiers and divine generals in the heavenly palace were almost scared to death. Ah, it's the fiends. It's the fiends experts. There are so many fiend experts. Aren't the fiends under our control? Why are there still so many fiend experts here? What happened? Quick, spread the news. Quick, activate the array. Many people in the heavenly palace yelled. They were extremely shocked. Dandan had already taken action. He transformed into his world turtle form. The turtle shell behind him was densely engraved with runes and arrays. At this moment, Dandan's turtle shell glowed. Countless runes and arrays emitted light. Then, countless runes flew out and flew toward the star array of the heavenly palace. Soon, the entire area was filled with runes. This is the weak point. Attack this place with all your strength and you will be able to break it. Dandan shouted. Attack! Zi Xian, Yin Kong, and the others shouted. This time, not all the fiend experts were mobilized. Only 3,000 fiend experts were mobilized. According to Dandan, 3,000 fiend experts were enough. It was better not to expose all their strength. Boom! 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 3,000 fiend god lords attacked together. Demonic chi filled the sky and blasted toward the star array. The entire array started to shake violently. If it were in the past, with a fiend expert powering the array, even if they found the weak point, 3,000 fiend masters would not be able to break it. However, it was different now. The ones powering the array were only god emperors. The violent shaking made some of the god emperors powering the array scream. Their bodies exploded, and they died on the spot. In this way, the other god emperors did not dare to continue controlling the array. After about an hour, a crack was forcefully torn open in the array. The crack continued to expand. In the end, a huge hole was blasted open. 1,000 of you will work together to stop the array from closing. The other 2,000 will follow us into the heavenly palace. Zi Xian and Yin Kong gave out orders. Of the 5,000 fiend masters, 1,000 would be used to maintain the hole in the array. 2,000 would follow them into the heavenly palace. The other 2,000 would control the fiend castle of Yin ruins and guard outside the array. Once they noticed something wrong, they would inform them immediately. Charge in. Zi Xian and Yin Kong gave the order and led the 2,000 fiend masters into the heavenly palace. Of course, Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Dandan, Gu Mo, and Wanshan also followed in. Retreat! 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 Run! The heavenly soldiers and deity generals in the heavenly palace were terrified. They retreated and fled in panic. It was not that they were afraid of death and did not dare to fight. The main reason was that the difference was too big. There were 2,000 fiend masters. How could they fight? No matter how many of them they had, it was useless. They would be destroyed in an instant when facing 2,000 fiend masters. Going up to fight was clearly courting death. Naturally, no one would be so foolish. Kill. The 2,000 fiend masters charged into the heavenly palace. Some of the slower heavenly soldiers and deity generals were killed. Chapter 47-54. 2,000 demon masters charged into the illusory heavenly palace. The heavenly soldiers and divine generals fled in panic. Split up into groups of a few and searched the entire heavenly palace. Take everything you can. If you meet anyone from the heavenly palace, kill them all. Zi Xian ordered. My order is the same. Yin Kong also said. Yes. 2,000 demon masters roared. Their eyes were burning with excitement. They had actually attacked the heavenly palace. This was something they had dreamed of. The demons and the heavenly palace had been fighting for countless years. Countless demons had dreamed of attacking the heavenly palace one day and killing everyone in the heavenly palace. Now, it had really come true. How could they not be excited? Immediately, the 2,000 demon masters split into groups of 3 or 4 or 5. They split up and charged in all directions. The illusory heavenly palace was incomparably huge. It was comparable to a planet. There were countless passageways and palaces inside. The 2,000 demon masters quickly disappeared in all directions. Yin Kong and Zi Xian also led a group of people and set off. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Dandan, Gu Mo, and Wanshan formed a group and moved quickly along a passageway. Our target is the illusory heavenly palace's treasure vault. Lu Ming transmitted his voice to Xian Yanqing, Dandan, and the others. Treasure vault, I like it. Dandan's eyes lit up. However, the illusory heavenly palace's treasure vault must be hidden very deeply. I'm afraid it won't be that easy to find. Xian Yanqing said. And since it's a treasure vault, it must be filled with layers of formations. Gu Mo also said. So, we'll have to rely on Dandan. Lu Ming said. Don't worry, leave it to me. But after we find the treasure vault, you have to let me choose first. The light in Dandan's eyes became even brighter and more dazzling. They continued forward. At the end of the passageway was a large hall. However, they did not see anyone from the heavenly palace. They continued forward and passed through several long passageways before arriving at a huge courtyard. This was a herb garden. It had a radius of hundreds of thousands of miles. It was huge and filled with all kinds of divine herbs. In the sky above the herb garden, there were 7 dazzling gems that emitted dazzling light. Stars. Lu Ming and the others' eyes flashed. These 7 gems were actually stars. Stars. To be more precise, 7 stars were sealed into 7 crystals, forming 7 dazzling gems that provided light for the divine medicine here. It was really a big deal. Ha ha ha, these godly herbs are ours. Dandan grinned. The group rushed heavenly Dao palace hall suddenly. In the distance, resplendent radiance filled the air. Countless runes appeared, forming a large formation. Following that, figures, tens, God, palace, their heavens, palace, emperor, heavenly emperor, palace, God, emperors, divine, palace, God, divine, realm, cultivation, emperors, realm, God, emperors, realm, emperor, realm, God. 9 heavens battle formation, activate. Kill them. A loud roar was heard. Then, in the bright light, an incomparably huge figure condensed. Tens of thousands of heavenly humans at the God the Arch realm set up the 9 heavens battle formation with the help of the array that had been inscribed in the herb garden. Its power was very shocking. A huge heavenly human figure was condensed. It held a battle sword and slashed at Lu Ming and the group. Swoosh! Gu Mo was the first to make a move. He flew up and waved his hand, clashing with the huge battle sword. Boom! There was an earth-shattering explosion. Cracks appeared on the huge battle sword. Then, with a bang, it collapsed. Even the huge figure had cracks on it. How is it possible? How is he so strong? Many heavenly human tribe powerful beings roared in horror. They were tens of thousands of heavenly humans, and they were all emperor gods. In addition, they had the advantage of terrain. The 9 heavens battle formations runes had already been carved into the herb garden. The 9 heavens battle formation they had set up here would be even more powerful than if they had set it up elsewhere. However, they were still not as strong as Guemo. This made them extremely shocked. Kill! Guemo let out a long howl. His body was like lightning as he rushed over again. He struck out with his palm and collided with the gigantic figure. This time, the gigantic figure was directly defeated. Afterward, Lu Ming charged toward the members of the heavenly human tribe. Defend! Defend with all your strength! The heavenly humans shouted in horror. They activated the 9 heavens battle formation with all their might. They turned into a defensive posture and formed huge shields. However, it was still difficult to defend against Guemo. Gumo's frontal attack power was almost on par with the strongest Lord of Heaven in the Heaven Palace. Under the origin, there were not many who could match him in the entire universe. Such combat power far exceeded that of an ordinary Lord God. It was not something that the 9 heavens battle formation, which was set up by tens of thousands of emperor gods, could withstand. After a few explosions, the shields were penetrated. The 9 heavens battle formation was also torn apart. Screams were heard. In an instant, at least a few hundred emperor gods were killed. The 9 heavens battle formation was broken. Guemo didn't give me a chance to attack at all. Dandan grinned. Even without Guemo, Dandan was confident that he could break the 9 heavens battle formation with the help of the array. Let's kill these heavenly humans. Lu Ming said. His body turned into an aurora and rushed out. The divine battle spear appeared in his hand. With a shake of the spear, hundreds of sharp spear rays pierced out. Puff puff puff, the 9 heavens battle formation was broken. The heavenly humans were like lambs waiting to be slaughtered in front of Lu Ming. They couldn't withstand a single blow. It didn't matter if they were at the 1st Great Supreme God layer or the 9th Great Supreme God layer. They were all killed in one move. The spear rays pierced through the foreheads of hundreds of emperor gods. At the same time, Chuchio also flew out and transformed into a halberd. It rampaged about and hacked about, killing large numbers of celestial race god emperors. Lu Ming didn't have any mercy for the heavenly humans. He wouldn't show any mercy. They were mortal enemies. It was either you die or I die. If he let the heavenly humans go, his family and friends might die in the hands of the heavenly humans in the future. When Lu Ming attacked, Xian Yanqing, Dandan and Guemo also attacked. It was a one-sided battle. Large numbers of heavenly humans were killed like wheat. Run! They're divine lords. We're no match for them. Even if we run away, the lords won't blame us. Where there's life, there's hope. Run out of the heavenly palace and find the lords. The remaining heavenly human tribe cultivators scattered and fled in all directions. There were many passageways in all directions. Lu Ming and the others chased them for a while and killed more than 10,000 emperor gods. However, the rest of the emperor gods ran away. However, Lu Ming and the others were satisfied. 10,000 emperor gods was a huge number. It was enough to make the heavenly humans suffer. More than 100 emperor gods could give birth to one divine lord. 10,000 emperor gods could give birth to 100 divine lords in the future. It was a big loss for the heavenly palace. Then, Lu Ming and the others started to collect divine herbs. Chapter 47-55. Everyone began to search for the divine medicines. With a wave of their hands, large amounts of divine medicines rose from the ground and were collected by Lu Ming and the others. Lu Ming put all the divine medicines into the ancient desolate ring. Most of these divine medicines were monarch divine medicines, royal divine medicines or emperor-level divine medicines. Lu Ming and the others didn't need them now, so they planned to plant them on the fragment of the continent in the ancient desolate ring when they had time. This is a main divine medicine. Suddenly, Lu Ming's eyes lit up. He saw a stalk of divine medicine. Its medicinal fragrance assailed his nostrils, and its medicinal strength was rich and powerful. Its life essence was exuberant. A main divine medicine. I found a main divine medicine. On the other side, Dandan also laughed. The next moment, Bone Demon also said. He also found a main divine medicine. In the past, it was impossible for a main divine medicine to be born in the ancient desolate universe. It seems that the changes in the universe have a great impact. Since main divine medicines have started to appear in the ancient desolate universe, it's not impossible for an origin divine medicine to be born in the future. Is it really like what others said? Is the universe really going to return to the glory of the ancient desolate continent? Lu Ming pondered. His heart was in turmoil and he could not calm down. That was very possible. Ever since the ancient desolate continent was destroyed in the last era, the universe had almost dried up. Most of the territory had been reduced to ruins. The laws and intents were in chaos, and everything was deathly silent. The new ancient desolate universe, which was the universe, only occupied a small part of the universe and couldn't produce treasures above the main divine level. The entire universe was in an age of decline and the number of overlords was completely incomparable to that of the ancient desolate continent. Now, there was an opportunity and it wasn't impossible for the universe to return to the glory of the last era. The Heaven Destroyer can't be destroyed. Otherwise, the universe will really belong to the heavenly human race. A thought flashed across Lu Ming's mind. However, he didn't stop. He waved his hand and put the main divine medicine into the ancient desolate ring. Under their wanton plundering, the herb garden was quickly swept clean. Almost all the divine herbs were swept clean. Not even the lowest grade divine herbs were left behind. This is awesome. Let's hurry to other places. I'm really looking forward to the Heavenly Palace's treasury. Dandan beamed with joy. They quickly chose a direction and continued their search along a passage. Soon after, they discovered several celestial race experts. They captured them and interrogated them about the location of the Heavenly Palace's treasury. However, it was a pity that these few heavenly humans didn't know about it at all. Their ranks were too low. Ordinary people wouldn't know about the location of the Heavenly Palace's treasures. Only the higher-ups of the Heavenly Palace would know about it. Not to mention them, even many divine master heavenly humans didn't know where the Heavenly Palace's treasury was located. After that, Lu Ming and the others captured a few more batches of heavenly humans for interrogation, and the results were all the same. His level was too low, so he had no idea at all. That's a good thing. If these people don't know, then those demons won't know either. Later on, it'll depend on who's lucky. Lu Ming said. Needless to say, those demons must be looking for the Heavenly Palace's treasury as well. The Heavenly Palace's treasury must contain a large number of treasures. Who wouldn't be tempted? They kept searching inside the Heavenly Palace. When they saw something valuable, they took it away. When they saw heavenly humans, they killed them as well. Just like that, they stayed in the Heavenly Palace for 7 days, but they still didn't find the treasury of the Heavenly Palace. If we don't find it in a few days, we'll have to leave. Dandan said. He was itching to find it. They had made an appointment with Zi Xian, Yin Kong, and the others in advance. They would stay in the Heavenly Palace for 10 days. After 10 days, they would have to retreat. If they waited any longer, the experts of the Heavenly Palace might come back. If the Heavenly Palace sent 7,000 to 8,000 divine masters, they would definitely be no match for them. Let's continue. If we don't find it in 3 days, we'll retreat. Lu Ming said. 1 day later, they still didn't find anything. 2 days later, they still didn't find anything. Soon, the 10 days were approaching. I found something. At this moment, Dandan's surprised voice rang in the ears of Lu Ming and the others. Lu Ming and the others were delighted. In a flash, they came to Dandan's side. There's a formation on the ground. It's an extremely hidden formation. Even a formation expert wouldn't be able to detect it. Dandan stared at the ground with a fiery gaze. They were in a courtyard. The courtyard was filled with flowers. Dandan stared at a place where the flowers were blooming. Here, Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Gu Mo, and Wan Shen all looked carefully. They even tried to probe, but they didn't find any traces of a formation. Like I said, it's very hidden. It's a pity that you ran into me. I happened to obtain a formation in the Wanhua ruins and engraved it on my back. It can detect all kinds of formations. No matter how hidden it is, it can't escape my detection. Dandan said. After saying that, he began to wave his hands. Runes spread out and sank into the ground. After a while, runes began to appear on the flowers. There's really a formation. Lu Ming and the others' eyes lit up. Watch me break it. Dandan said proudly. Dandan, don't make too much of a commotion. It's best if you don't leave any traces. Lu Ming reminded. He was afraid that making too much of a commotion would attract the devils. They could just divide the Heavenly Palace's treasury. Don't worry, I'm better at this than you. Dandan chuckled. His hands moved faster and faster. Endless runes spread out. About 10 minutes later, the flowers disappeared and a small whirlpool appeared on the ground. Let's go in. This is a small passage that I opened. After we enter, the passage will automatically disappear. Those devils won't notice. Dandan said. Let's go. Without hesitation, Lu Ming took the lead and rushed into the vortex, followed by Xian Yanqing, Gu Mo, Wan Shen, and finally Dandan. After they all rushed into the whirlpool automatically disappeared. Lu Ming found that they had arrived in a small stone room. The stone room was very small and empty. However, there was a stone door at the side of the stone room. The stone door was also covered by a layer of formation. It seems that we haven't reached the treasury. There are many checkpoints. But it's useless against me. Dandan chuckled. He walked to the stone door and observed for a while. Then, he began to break the formation. About 10 minutes later, the stone door creaked and opened by itself. Behind the stone door was a slanted passage. At the end of the passage, there was another stone door. It was also covered by a formation. The formation of each stone door was different. The experts of the Heavenly Palace also needed special keys to open these doors. But against Dandan, these were useless. During the time in the Wanhua ruins, Dandan's understanding of formations had undoubtedly improved a lot. Soon, the stone door was opened by Dandan. Chapter 4756. Behind them, Lu Ming and the others passed through several checkpoints and finally reached the end. At the end was a huge stone chamber. It was very wide. When they arrived, Lu Ming and the others were stunned. Their mouths were agape and their eyes shone with a bright light. Treasures. They were all treasures. The first thing that came into view was a pile of metal materials that looked like a small mountain. There were hundreds of different kinds of metal materials. Each kind was piled up casually on the ground. Then, there were many shelves on both sides of the stone chamber. On the shelves, there were large boxes. It was obvious that the boxes were filled with treasures. There were also a large number of divine weapons on the shelves. They emitted powerful auras. Of course, the divine weapons placed casually were not of high grades. Most of them were Emperor-level divine weapons. There were also some Master-level divine weapons. But there were so many of them that they piled up like mountains. A treasure vault. A real treasure vault. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Dandan, and the others knew that they had found the right place. This was definitely the treasure vault of the illusory heavenly palace. It was where the treasures were hidden. Let's move them. Lu Ming shouted. With a wave of his hand, the mountain of metal materials in front of him disappeared. Lu Ming kept it in his chaos ring. Let's move. Immediately after, Dandan, Xian Yanqing, Wan Shen, and Gu Mo took action. They took out their storage rings and began to frantically collect the metal materials. Most of these metal materials could only be used to refine Emperor-level divine weapons or Master-level divine weapons. There were none that could be used to refine Source-level divine weapons. But there were so many of them. With so many materials, it was unknown how many kilograms there were. Their value was immeasurable. Soon, the hundreds of piles of metal materials were emptied. Then, everyone looked at the large boxes on the shelves. Lu Ming walked directly to the nearest shelf and opened the box. He discovered that there were jade bottles inside, arranged neatly. There were a total of 12. Lu Ming took out a jade bottle and opened the cap. Immediately, an extremely rich medicinal fragrance filled the air. Immediately, the entire stone chamber was filled with the rich medicinal fragrance. Inside were divine pills. Lu Ming poured it out and took a look. There were 12 emerald green divine pills inside. This is a master-grade divine pill. It's made from master-grade divine herbs. It can increase the cultivation of divine masters. Xian Yanqing recognized this divine pill at a glance. It could increase the cultivation of a divine master. This kind of divine pill could be said to be priceless, and if it were to spread, divine master realm existences would fight over it. In the past, there weren't any main-level treasures in the universe. If almighty realm cultivators wanted to increase their cultivation, they could only go to the ruins of the universe to find primeval gems or main-level divine herbs. However, in the past, the laws and profundities in the ruins of the universe were in chaos. Thus, there were very few main-grade elixirs. Therefore, the number of these main-grade elixirs was naturally very small. The energy of this divine pill is very strong. One of them is equivalent to over 1,000 great desolation crystals. Lu Ming carefully sized up the divine pill and judged its efficacy. This box is also filled with sovereign-grade divine pills. Dandan called out. He had been impatient for a long time and opened the second box. The second box also contained sovereign-grade divine pills. Like Lu Ming, it was also used to increase one's cultivation. Following that, Xian Yanqing, Wan Shen, and Gu Mo opened the other boxes one after another. They discovered that most of them were sovereign-grade divine pills. Most of them were used to increase one's cultivation. There were also some that had other uses, such as energy recovery pills, detoxification pills, support-type divine pills, and so on. Divine pills that increase cultivation are useless to me. You guys can divide them among yourselves. Xian Yanqing said. Xian Yanqing's cultivation had already reached the 9th level of the Divine Master Realm. Her universe bridge was connected to the cosmic sea. Her next cultivation would be to convert and strengthen her origin source energy. She no longer needed sovereign-grade divine pills or primeval gems to increase her cultivation. I don't need cultivation-enhancing divine pills either. The three of you can divide them among yourselves. Gu Mo said. Lu Ming, Dandan, and Wan Shen did not stand on ceremony. Each of them took a box of cultivation-enhancing divine pills and divided them equally. As for the other divine pills, they gave more to Xian Yanqing and Gu Mo. In the end, they divided the 100 boxes of divine pills equally. There were also sovereign-grade divine weapons and emperor-grade divine weapons that were divided among them. The highest grade is sovereign-grade. There are no source-grade treasures. Dandan muttered, somewhat displeased. There aren't enough source-grade treasures for all the origin realm cultivators in the heavenly palace. It's normal that there aren't any. Lu Ming smiled. However, he was also somewhat disappointed. Sovereign-grade treasures were not particularly useful to them. Among the treasures that he had obtained previously, the ones that were most useful to him were those that could increase his cultivation level. There's another stone door here. After they emptied the stone room, they discovered another door in the deepest part of the stone room. It was enveloped by layers of runic arrays. Lu Ming and the others rejoiced. Could there be more than one treasury? Was there an even more important treasury? Could there be even more precious treasures inside? Leave it to me. Dandan couldn't wait to go up and study it. This time, the formation was clearly much more complicated. Even Dandan had to spend several hours to understand and decipher the formation. They opened the stone door and walked in. As expected, there was another stone room, but it was much smaller than the previous one. The first thing that caught their eyes was a storage ring. This storage ring hovered in the air, enveloped by a barrier of light. Lu Ming extended his hand to grab it, his palm covered in forbidden energy. Without any obstruction, Lu Ming grabbed the storage ring in his hands. With a sweep of his spiritual sense, he saw the contents of the storage ring clearly. Desolate crystals. It was a large pile of desolate crystals, piled up into a mountain. Lu Ming's eyes shone brightly. The number of desolate crystals in this pile was absolutely astonishing. Lu Ming estimated that it was definitely more than 700 or 800 million. This was because the 200 million desolate crystals that Fei Huang had given Lu Ming previously could not compare to the size of this pile of desolate crystals. Lu Ming, what is this? Seeing the light in Lu Ming's eyes, Dandan asked curiously. Desolate crystals. And there are a lot of them. Lu Ming said, and then showed the storage ring to Dandan. After Dandan saw it, his eyes also lit up. Then, Xian Yanqing and the others also looked at it. I estimate that there are about 1 billion desolate crystals in this pile. Guemo said. 1 billion. Lu Ming and the others were excited. Although 1 billion desolate crystals was considered a small amount for a heavenly palace, it was still a dream. One had to know that this was the dreamy heavenly palace's treasury. 1 billion desolate crystals was really nothing. However, Lu Ming and the others were already very satisfied. One had to know that desolate crystals were completely consumables, and they were consumed very quickly. 1 billion desolate crystals were divided among the divine lords of the heavenly palace. Each person would not get much, and they would quickly be refined. It was already very good that there were still about 1 billion desolate crystals in the heavenly palace. They were probably used to reward their subordinates. Chapter 47-57. Let's split these desolation crystals. Lu Ming looked at Dandan and Wan Shen. The desolation crystals were useless to Xian Yanqing and Guemo. He would let them take more of the other treasures later. Lu Ming, how many desolation crystals do you need to break through? Guemo asked. About 500 million desolation crystals to break through from the 7th layer to the 8th layer. Lu Ming said. After breaking through to the 7th layer, Lu Ming had refined over 100 million desolation crystals. Therefore, he estimated that 500 million would be enough. How about this? Let's see what other treasures there are and divide them together. Wan Shen suggested. The others naturally had no objections. Everyone continued to look. In addition to the storage ring floating in the air, there were more than 10 large boxes floating in the air. They opened the dozen or so large chests one by one. Then, everyone's breathing became heavy. Precious treasures, truly precious treasures. Among them, there were 9 large chests, each of which contained a divine weapon. Source-grade divine weapons. All 9 boxes contained source-grade divine weapons. There were 7 of them in total. I thought there wouldn't be any source-grade divine weapons. I didn't expect there to be 7 of them. Dandan grinned. His eyes shone brightly. He wanted to swallow the 9 source-grade divine weapons in one gulp. Dandan's meaning was simple. Source-grade divine weapons were a strategic resource that the Heavenly Palace lacked. Half of the origins in the Heavenly Palace didn't have any source-grade divine weapons. Source-grade divine weapons were far from enough. It was normal that the treasury didn't have any. These should be the backup source-grade divine weapons of the Heavenly Palace. They are used to reward their subordinates. Xian Yinqing said. The operation of a large organization required some methods. They needed to be clear about rewards and punishments. For example, if an Origin Realm expert performed a great service for the Heavenly Palace and was rewarded with a source-grade divine weapon, it would cause a stir. It would stimulate the other Origin Realm experts and make them work harder for the Heavenly Palace. These 7 source-grade divine weapons were obviously used for this purpose. The 1 billion or so primordial crystals from before were clearly used for this purpose. In addition to the 7 source-level divine weapons, they also found some divine pills. They were source-level divine pills made from source-level divine herbs and contained origin marks. The value of the pill was simply astonishing. It was extremely useful to reciprocity experts, allowing them to break through and break through. I'm rich, I'm really rich, aha. Dandan laughed. These pills were extremely useful for peak godlords to break through to reciprocity. They would need them sooner or later. Unfortunately, there weren't many of those divine pills. In fact, they could be said to be extremely rare. This was normal. Source-grade divine herbs that could be used to refine source-grade divine pills were too rare. Especially in the past, it was hard to find even in the ruins of the universe. Now that the universe was changing, there might be more of them in the future. Apart from these, there were also some other treasures. They were all very special treasures, such as some one-time offensive treasures or one-time life-saving treasures. These treasures were often of great use at critical moments. In short, the treasures in this treasury were all top-tier treasures. They were extremely valuable. However, there were no materials to refine source-level divine weapons, nor were there any other high-grade divine herbs. Presumably, the Heavenly Palace would refine these materials once they obtained them. Afterward, they began to discuss how to distribute them. Lu Ming's battle prowess is the strongest among those of the same level. Every time he increases his cultivation, his battle prowess increases the most as well. Therefore, I suggest that we give the primordial crystals to Lu Ming. What do you think? Wan Shen was the first to speak. Xian Yanqing and Guamo naturally had no objections, especially Xian Yanqing. Even if she could use them, she would give them to Lu Ming without any hesitation. Only Dandan was reluctant. His eyes darted around. His cultivation was the lowest among them, only at the 5th layer of the Godly Master Realm. He also wanted the primordial crystals very much. I only need 500 million primordial crystals at most to break through to the 8th layer of the Godly Master Realm. I don't need any more. How about this? I'll take 500 million primordial crystals. You can take more of the other treasures. Lu Ming said. 500 million was enough for him. Even if he took 1 billion, it would be useless. To break through from the 8th layer of the Godly Master Realm to the 9th layer of the Godly Master Realm, he would need at least 5 billion primordial crystals. This was an astronomical number. Finally, they came to an agreement. Lu Ming would take 500 million primordial crystals, while Dandan and Myriad God would split the other 500 million equally. As for the source-level divine weapons, Lu Ming did not take them. Myriad God took 1 each. Dandan, Xian Yanqing, and Guemo each took 2. It was all thanks to Dandan that they were able to find the Heavenly Palace's treasury. It was only right that Dandan took 1 more. For this, Dandan grinned from ear to ear. As for the source-level divine pills, they would split them equally. As for the other special treasures, they would split them equally according to their needs. They had reaped great rewards on this trip. It could be said that everyone was happy. Awesome. This is too awesome. Moving into the Heavenly Palace's treasury is still the most comfortable. Dandan laughed heartily. It could be said that this trip had made them rich all of a sudden. There were many treasures whose value was difficult to measure. For example, the source-level divine weapons, source-level divine pills, and special treasures. Let's go. It won't be long before the 10 days are up, Lu Ming said. Everyone nodded and headed outside, leaving the treasury. There was still some time left, but no one wanted to wander around any longer. After their trip to the treasury, they were no longer interested in the other items in the heavenly palace. They found a place and slowly waited. Lu Ming made use of the time to refine the primordial crystals. He could imagine that there would be endless battles ahead. The stronger they were, the better. Wanshen and Dandan also made use of the time to refine the primordial crystals. Xian Yanqing, on the other hand, was comprehending the origin energy and strengthening it. Only Guemo was idling. His cultivation had reached its limit. The next step was to reach the origin realm. However, he was facing an origin tribulation now. He could no longer improve. If he wanted to break through to the origin realm, he could only wait until the origin tribulation was over. Otherwise, his origin root would be sucked away as soon as he broke through. He had already reached the peak and could no longer improve in any aspect. Soon, the 10 days were up. Lu Ming and the others left the illusory heavenly palace and returned to the demon fortress of Yin ruins. The other demons also came out one after another. After some time, all the demons that had entered the illusory heavenly palace came out and returned to the demon fortress of Yin ruins. Lu Ming, did you find anything? Did you find the treasury of the illusory heavenly palace? Zi Xian walked over and asked tentatively. No. Did you find it? Lu Ming asked. They naturally wouldn't admit that they had found the treasury. I've already asked the others, but they didn't find it. It seems that the treasury of the heavenly palace is hidden too deeply. What a pity. Zi Xian sighed. Chapter 47-58. Zi Xian and the others were frustrated that they couldn't find the treasure vault of the dreamy heavenly palace after so many days of searching. If it weren't for the lack of time, they would have continued to search. However, they had to leave. So many days had passed and the heavenly palace must have received the news. They would have sent their elites to hunt them down. If they didn't leave quickly, they would be surrounded by the elites of the heavenly palace. In fact, the Immortal and the others had received the news a few days after they entered the dreamy heavenly palace. Most of the overlords of the heavenly palace were attacking the Heaven Destroyer's base. When they heard the news, they were immediately enraged. What? All the criminals in the heavenly prison have escaped. Why? What happened? More than 900 divine masters have fled, and they're attacking my heavenly palace's strategic locations everywhere. What happened in the heavenly prison? Many Lord of Heaven shouted. Even a character like Yi Wuxian had a dark expression on his face. My lords, I heard that someone broke into the heavenly prison and released the criminals. A brawny heavenly human who came to deliver the news said. Who broke into the heavenly prison? They deserve to die. A Lord of Heaven shouted. According to the images from the surveillance array in the heavenly prison, it's these people. The brawny heavenly human took out a jade talisman and activated it. A few people immediately appeared. It's Lu Ming. It's that bastard Lu Ming. Damn it. No, there's also a demon. There was an uproar. Naturally, there were many surveillance arrays in the heavenly prison. It was difficult for Lu Ming to avoid all the surveillance arrays. Why is Lu Ming, that little bastard, hanging out with the demons? Someone wondered. Oh no. Did Lu Ming go to the dark universe and work with the demons? Someone's expression changed as he guessed. Work with the demons? How is that possible? The demons are being attacked by the ancestral fiend bugs and will soon become our puppets. How could Lu Ming work with the demons? Did the demons leave the dark universe? The heavenly human elites at the scene were in a heated discussion. Report. Right at this moment, another heavenly human tribe member flew over rapidly. This time, it was a heavenly human tribe elder. His face was filled with fear, and he looked like he had lost his head out of fear. "What's the matter?" a lord of heaven asked. "My lords, I've just received news that the dreamy heavenly palace has been breached." The heavenly human's voice trembling. "What?" Boom. Terrifying auras erupted one after another. Countless experts of the heavenly human tribe erupted with boundless fury. Their eyes were filled with murderous intent and disbelief. The dreamy heavenly palace had been breached? Who did it? In the Eldritch universe, the Heaven Destroyer was besieged and the demons were being attacked by the ancestral fiend bugs. Their heavenly palace had no opponents. Who else could breach the dreamy heavenly palace? Could it be the quasi-immortal tribe? Who did it? Ye Immortal asked coldly. Everyone could hear the murderous intent in his voice. "It's Lu Ming and the demons." A large number of demons. The heavenly human's voice trembled. "It's Lu Ming again." And the demons? Where did they come from? Many heaven monarchs roared angrily. "It's true. My lords, please take a look." The heavenly human's elder took out a jade talisman and activated it. Immediately, an image appeared. It was the scene of Lu Ming and thousands of demons attacking the dreamy heavenly palace's array. The heavenly human race's members were stunned. It took them a while to react. It's the silver-winged demons and the purple-eyed demons of the 4 royal demon races. Why are they in the Eldritch universe? They're also being attacked by the ancestral fiend bugs. They can't hold on for long with the ancestral fiend blood crystal powder. They don't dare to leave the dark universe. How can they attack the dreamy heavenly palace? Many Lord of Heaven roared. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. "Quiet down." Suddenly, Ye Immortal's voice sounded. Everyone quieted down. It's useless to complain now. It seems that the ancestral fiend bugs of the purple-eyed demons and the silver-winged demons have been suppressed or eliminated. That's why they can leave the dark universe. Ye Immortal said. The ancestral fiend bugs have been eliminated? How is that possible? Many heavenly human races members still couldn't believe it. No matter how unbelievable it is, it's the truth. We have to make the same assumption. Ye Immortal said. Ancestral Patriarch, what should we do now? What else can we do? Ancestral Patriarch, I suggest that we send out the elites immediately to annihilate those demons and Lu Ming. That's right. We can't ignore the people who escaped from the heavenly prison. We have to send someone to kill them. Some of the heavenly lords said at the same time. It seems that Lu Ming wants to use this method to reduce the pressure on the Heaven Destroyer base and disperse our forces. Lu Ming, I've underestimated you. Ye Immortal whispered. His voice was extremely cold and his killing intent was as sharp as a knife. However, he couldn't ignore Lu Ming. The people who escaped from the heavenly prison were wreaking havoc everywhere. They attacked the heavenly palace and killed the heavenly human race. They couldn't ignore it. Besides, Lu Ming and those demons had attacked the dreamy heavenly palace. They couldn't ignore it either. Even if they knew Lu Ming's goal, they still had to send someone to deal with him. Ancestral Patriarch, I suggest that we immediately send out the army to annihilate Lu Ming and those demons. A Lord of Heaven suggested. How many people should we send out? We don't know how many demon masters there are. Another Lord of Heaven said. The Silver Wing race and the Purple Eye race can mobilize about 5,000 demon masters. We have to prepare for all of them to move out. Therefore, I've decided to send 5,000 divine masters to the dreamy heavenly palace first. Don't fight with them first. Let's test their strength first. If they really have 5,000 divine masters, we'll send back the news and come up with other countermeasures. Also, send 2,000 divine masters to kill those who escaped from the heavenly prison. The rest of you, continue to attack the Heaven Destroyer base. No matter what, the human king's body is the most important. Ye Immortal started to give out orders. Yes. The others obeyed. Not long after, 2,000 divine masters set off to kill the experts who escaped from the heavenly prison. 5,000 divine masters went to the dreamy heavenly palace. In this way, the number of experts besieging the Heaven Destroyer base was reduced by 7,000. Originally, the heavenly palace had mobilized about 16,000 divine masters. Together with 7,000 divine masters, there were 23,000 divine masters in total. Now that 7,000 were gone, there were only 16,000 divine masters left. This eased the pressure on the Heaven Destroyer a little. It could hold on for a little longer. How did the demon suppress or get rid of the demon ancestor bugs? Could it be the demon ancestor blood crystal? Ye Immortal's eyes lit up. Chapter 4759. Ye Immortal immediately thought of the demon ancestor blood crystal. He knew that the only thing that could restrain the demon ancestor bug was the demon ancestor blood crystal. Moreover, he was the one who planned to use the demon ancestor blood crystal to lure the evil demons into the dark universe and trap them there forever. However, he also knew that the demon ancestor blood crystal had a barrier set up by the human sovereign. The evil demons could not get close to it. How did they get the demon ancestor blood crystal? He naturally thought of Lu Ming and the group. However, his understanding of the human king's barrier was far more than that of the demons. The Ye Immortal had obtained the demon ancestor blood crystal by accident. When he got the demon ancestor blood crystal, there was an introduction to the demon ancestor blood crystal that mentioned the human sovereign barrier. Although the human sovereign barrier was mainly used against the evil demons, it also had a strong restraining effect on the servants of the human race. Not only that, but any living thing, including the human race, could not pass through the barrier. It would create a strong pressure. Only a transcender could pass through the barrier and get the demon ancestor blood crystal. However, were there any transcenders in the current primitive universe? Obviously not. Even if Lu Ming has a forbidden body, it is impossible for him to pass through the human sovereign barrier and get the demon ancestor blood crystal. However, without the demon ancestor blood crystal, how did the evil demons suppress or get rid of the demon ancestor bug in their bodies? Ye Immortal fell into deep thought. He did not think that Lu Ming and the others could get the demon ancestor blood crystal. It was almost impossible. No matter how talented Lu Ming was, it was impossible for him to pass through the human sovereign barrier. He denied this thought, but it only made him even more puzzled. I should send someone to investigate. Ye Immortal muttered. Then he sent someone to the dark universe to check if the human sovereign barrier was still there. The person he sent out soon received a reply. The human sovereign barrier was still there. It was safe and sound. As for the demon ancestor blood crystal, it was hidden in the box. They could not pass through the barrier. Naturally, they could not see if the demon ancestor blood crystal had been taken away. This made Ye Immortal even more puzzled. After Lu Ming's group left the illusory fantasy heavenly palace, they boarded the Een Ruins Devil Castle, intending to leave. The demon castle of Een Ruins broke through the void and entered the dark space. However, not too long later, the ground began to tremble violently. Enemy attack, enemy attack. An evil demon's howl startled everyone. The people from the heavenly palace came so quickly. Lu Ming's eyes flashed. Obviously, they had been attacked by the cultivators of the heavenly palace. Lu Ming, Zi Xian, Yin Kong, and the others were gathered in a large hall. There was a huge bronze mirror in the hall that could reflect the scene outside. Outside the demon fortress of Een Ruins, the void shattered as a violent aura swept out in all directions. In front of the demon castle of Een Ruins, a large number of figures stood in the void. All of them were mighty ones from the heavenly palace, and all of them were divine masters. There were a total of 5,000 people. It really is the heavenly human tribe. Now that the laws and profound meanings in the universe ruins have stabilized, it seems that the people from the heavenly palace have found a way to set up a wormhole. Lu Ming pondered. In the past, There was no way to open a wormhole in the universe ruins because the laws and profound meanings were chaotic. But now, the situation had changed. For example, when they fought for the human king's body in the Halo world of the 1,000-year battlefield, the spacetime spirit rats opened a wormhole there. The cultivators from the Heaven Destroyer relied on the wormhole to return to the Heaven Destroyer's base. Now, the divine masters from the Heavenly Palace could arrive here in just a few days without a wormhole. Heavenly human tribe, very good. Let's go out and fight them. Kill all of them. Kill all of these bastards. Many evil demons roared. The evil demons and the heavenly human tribe had been enemies for generations. Coupled with the incident with the demon ancestor worm, the evil demons' hatred for the heavenly human tribe deepened. Most of the evil demons hated the heavenly human tribe to the core. Now that they saw the heavenly human tribe, many of them wanted to rush out and fight them. Wait a minute, we don't know how many powerful beings the heavenly human tribe has sent out. Maybe there's an ambush in the dark. Let's retreat for a while and test their strength first. Zi Xian said. Zi Xian is right. Let's test how many people the heavenly human tribe has sent and see if there's an ambush. Yin Kong said. The evil demons didn't rush out to fight the heavenly human tribe. Instead, they controlled the demon castle of Yin ruins to retreat. Don't let the evil demons get away. Chase them. Kill all the evil demons. Many powerful beings from the heavenly palace yelled and rushed toward the demon castle of Yin ruins. All kinds of attacks were thrown at the demon castle of Yin ruins. However, the demon castle of Yin ruins was very strong with the help of many evil demons. It wouldn't be easy for the heavenly palace to break through the demon castle of Yin ruins. In the blink of an eye, the two sides had crossed a long distance. After such a long distance, they didn't find any other ambush from the heavenly palace. From the beginning to the end, there were only 5,000 people. Obviously, the heavenly human tribe didn't have any powerful beings lying in ambush. At this time, Zi Xian, Yin Kong, and the others planned to rush out and fight the heavenly human tribe. Lu Ming, if you don't stop them and go out to fight the heavenly human tribe, the evil demons won't have enough experts. If they lose their strength, the heavenly palace will be weakened. Bone Demon sent a voice transmission to Lu Ming. No, I want them to kill each other. Lu Ming responded via voice transmission. Could it be that you already have a plan? The soul fire in Bone Demon's eye sockets flickered. He knew Lu Ming very well. If Lu Ming said so, he must have a plan. Yes, but I don't know if it will work. Then, Lu Ming told Bone Demon, Xian Yanqing, Dandan, and the Wanshan his plan. The eyes of the four people lit up. Don't worry, your plan can only succeed. I guarantee that there will be no problems. Hee hee. Dandan laughed, feeling very pleased with herself. Because Dandan would play a crucial role in Lu Ming's plan. That's good. Let's hope it works. Once it works, the situation will be completely reversed. Lu Ming whispered. Then, he said, let's go. We'll follow the evil demons and kill as many heavenly human tribe members as possible. Let's go and kill to our heart's content. I can't hold it in anymore. The Wanshan grinned. His eyes were filled with cold killing intent. Then, they followed the evil demons and killed their way out. Kill. Kill all the heavenly human bastards. About 5,000 evil demons and demon lords roared. Demonic chi surged into the sky as they charged out of the demon fortress of Yin ruins and toward the heavenly human tribe members. There were 5,000 divine lords on each side. The terrifying attacks collided, and the void in this area was chaotic. Terrifying waves of energy swept out in all directions. The entire galaxy outside the void was instantly destroyed. Countless stars exploded and stars were extinguished. Terrifying cracks were torn open in the boundless void. Countless living beings died in the battle between the two sides. This was the terror of the Divine Lord Army. If it happened in the universe, it would destroy heaven and earth. Chapter 4760. After a few rounds of long-range collisions, the experts from both sides began to fight each other. Swish! A golden spear of light pointed at Lu Ming's forehead. This was a 9th-level god lord heavenly human. His eyes were cold as he unleashed his strongest attack, wanting to kill Lu Ming in one blow. Seeking death. Lu Ming's eyes chilled as he thrust out his war god spear. However, Lu Ming's spear gleam was faster and more powerful than the other party's spear gleam. Plush! Lu Ming pierced through his opponent's forehead, killing him on the spot. With Lu Ming's current fighting strength, killing a 9th-level god lord was far too easy. Ordinary peak god lords were no match for Lu Ming. Only a top-class peak god lord could suppress Lu Ming. For example, the silver-armored Lord of Heaven he had encountered in the boundless fiend abyss. Kill. After killing the other party, the war god's spear swept out and killed another 8th-tier divine master heavenly human tribe member. The others were also engaged in battle. Bone Devil and Dandan had both encountered their opponents and were locked in battle. As for Xian Yanqing and Bone Devil, they were unstoppable. After killing several experts in a row, they naturally caught the attention of the other experts. Several peak god lord experts charged at Xian Yanqing and Bone Devil. Leave it to me. Bone Devil roared as he transformed into a bolt of black lightning. His palm was like a demonic saber as he charged forward. Plush! Plush! The two peak god lord experts were unable to put up any resistance. Their master-level divine weapons were shattered, and their bodies were torn apart by Bone Devil's palm. The other peak god lord expert was so frightened that he immediately retreated. Leave this person to me. The rest of you go and deal with the others. A cold voice rang out as a burly figure charged towards Guo Clang. Bone Devil exchanged a blow with his opponent, and both of them were forced back. The 100 Battle Lord of Heaven. Lu Ming's eyes flashed. The one who dealt with the Bone Demon just now was one of the 4 strongest Lords of Heaven in the Heavenly Palace, the Lord of Heaven of the 100 Battles. This time, the heavenly human tribe was led by the 2 most powerful Lord of Heaven. One was the Lord of Heaven of 100 Battles, while the other was the Lord of Heaven of Extinction. Just now, the Lord of Heaven of 100 Battles was nearby. When he saw how powerful Bone Devil was, he charged towards Bone Devil. So what if he's the strongest Lord of Heaven? I'll still kill him. The Bone Demon shouted and charged towards the other party, clashing with the Lord of Heaven. Xian Yanqing, the Lord of Heaven, who was thought to be powerful, began to fight. Lu Ming did not go too far. He stayed beside Wan Shen and Dandan and fought with the heavenly human tribe. After all, Wan Shen and Dandan's cultivation levels were lower. If they encountered a powerful opponent, they would be in danger. He stayed nearby so that he could look after them. The battle was very fierce, and there were experts dying at every moment. These were all almighty existences, the top figures in the universe. Any one of them was a high and mighty figure. One of them could make a tribe prosper and become the top tribe in the universe. On the surface, only the top 100 tribes in the universe had almighty. In reality, there were more than that. Some powerful tribes also had Almighty secretly overseeing them. However, the number of tribes with Almighty in the universe definitely did not exceed 300. Such a person was completely worthless at this moment. He was constantly being killed and dying. Retreat, retreat. Suddenly, a loud roar came from behind the heavenly palace. Immediately, the heavenly palace experts began to retreat in an orderly manner. They did not panic and retreated in an orderly manner. They continued to converge with each other, and their attacks became mainly defensive. The number of demons and the heavenly palace were about the same. Their strength was also about the same. If the other party wanted to retreat, the demons could not stop them. After a while, all the heavenly palace experts gathered together. They defended and retreated at the same time. The demons chased for a while and could only give up. They were afraid of falling into a trap and being ambushed. In this battle, the evil demons had lost almost 200 demon masters. However, the heavenly palace did not fare any better. They had also suffered heavy losses. After a while, the heavenly palace people did not attack. The demons wanted to counterattack. They drove the demon fortress of In ruins and charged forward. The heavenly palace people retreated to avoid the demons. Humph, these heavenly human scum are really cowards. They don't dare to fight us. Some demons sneered. The heavenly palace people do not dare to fight us, but they are not retreating either. I feel that their goal is to delay us. I estimate that their reinforcements will be here soon. Lu Ming said. Brother Lu, you are right. What should we do next? Zi Xian asked. After spending some time together, she knew that Lu Ming was very resourceful. If she had any questions, she would ask Lu Ming first. If we continue to stay here, we may be surrounded by the heavenly palace. This is not good for us. I suggest that we leave here and attack some important places in the heavenly palace, or even other heavenly palaces, Lu Ming said. That's a good idea. Let's do that. Zi Xian and Yin Kong nodded. Then the demon fortress of In ruins was activated and left the place. The demons left. Damn it. Chase them. We can't let them leave our sight. When our reinforcements arrive, they will die. The heavenly human experts ordered. 4 to 5,000 almighty experts chased after the demon fortress of In ruins. The demons drove the demon fortress of In ruins. Soon, they appeared outside a huge planet. This planet was a resource planet of the heavenly palace. It was more important and there used to be many experts guarding it. Even now, although there were no more divine masters, there were still many divine emperors. Boom! After the In ruins demon fortress appeared, it directly charged towards the planet. Many demon lord realm demons rushed out and bombarded the planet with attacks. Boom! 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 The planet exploded and lava shot into the sky. The experts of the heavenly palace who were guarding this place were instantly reduced to ashes. In less than a minute, the resource planet was destroyed. The space in the distance cracked. The almighty experts of the heavenly palace also arrived. Seeing this scene, they were furious. Their eyes turned red and they rushed toward the resource planet. However, the demons who attacked had already returned to the demon fortress of In ruins. The demon fortress of In ruins was activated and left, rushing toward the next important place in the heavenly palace. In the next few days, the demons drove the demon fortress of In ruins and destroyed 7 important places in the heavenly palace. Then, the demon fortress of In ruins rushed in one direction. Oh no, they want to go to the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace. We can't let them succeed. Spread the news. Tell the reinforcements to defend the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace. Attack from the front and back. The experts of the Heavenly Palace shouted. Lu Ming and the others did want to rush to the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace. This place was not far from the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace. However, when they approached the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace, they realized that something was wrong. Thousands of almighty experts gathered in front of the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace. Obviously, the reinforcements of the Heavenly Palace had arrived. Chapter 4761. In front of the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace, there were at least 3,000 almighty from the Heavenly Palace. The demons were naturally not afraid of 3,000 almighty, but they had the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace behind them. They could enter the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace at any time and make use of the Crepe Myrtle Heavenly Palace's array. Therefore, it would not be easy to deal with them. Another problem was that the 4,700 almighty were hot on their heels and would form a pincer attack. Therefore, when they saw this situation, the demons suppressed the urge to go out and fight with the Heavenly Palace's almighty. Instead, they controlled the demon castle of In ruins and charged in another direction. Kill them, don't let them escape. Stop them. The heavenly palaces almighty behind them immediately charged toward the demon castle of Een ruins. The 3,000 almighty from the crepe myrtle heavenly palace also charged toward the demon castle of Een ruins. The two heavenly palaces almighty armies added up to almost 8,000 almighty. Their strength was far above the demons. The demons were not stupid enough to stop and fight with the enemy. They kept flying forward. If they saw a planet occupied by the heavenly palace, they would attack. Let's split up and chase them. Otherwise, those demons won't stop. The Lord of Heaven of 100 Battles suggested. That's right. One group will chase them while the other group will go around and surround them. Another powerful Lord of Heaven nodded. Immediately, the two groups of Almighty split up. One group of 3,000 went around in another direction, intending to surround the demons. The other group continued to chase them. With the demons' belligerent nature and their hatred for the heavenly human tribe, they would attack as long as they saw that the other party was not attacking them. Indeed, not long after, another battle broke out. Both sides lost more than 100 almighty. In the end, another group of heavenly palaces almighty chased after them, and the demons escaped into the demon castle of Een ruins again. The heavenly palaces men continued to chase after them. Just like that, a few months went by. During this time, several battles broke out above. Both sides suffered great losses, but the heavenly palace's army could not surround the demons. However, in the past few months, the universe had been thrown into chaos. The source was naturally the experts who had escaped from the imperial prison. This was especially the case for the 918 Divine Master Realm powerhouses. They were filled with hatred for the heavenly palace, and they carried out crazy revenge. The various bases of the heavenly palace in the universe, resource planets, cultivation holy lands, and even important places like the Dream Sky City of Heavenly Palace were attacked. This caused the heavenly palace to suffer heavy losses. A large number of godly emperors and those below the godly emperor level were killed, causing a huge commotion in the universe. Not long after, the heavenly palace sent out experts to hunt down the escapees. From time to time, great battles between divine masters would break out in various parts of the universe. The starry sky would tremble, and planets would be destroyed. Every race was on tenterhooks. This was especially true for creatures with lower cultivation levels. They were even more terrified because the shockwaves caused by the battle between the divine masters were too great. They could easily destroy planets and annihilate creatures. It was unknown how many creatures had been swept into this series of battles. But not long after, an even more explosive news spread through the universe, causing a huge commotion. One of the top 10 races, the Battle Saint tribe, released news that the celestial race was despicable and shameless. For the sake of treasures, they casually acted against the Battle Saint tribe, killing their members. In addition, they even imprisoned the genius of the Battle Saint tribe, Battle God Wuji, for several years in the imperial prison, torturing him. Hence, the Battle Saint tribe decided to withdraw from the heavenly palace. Before this news was released, those Battle Saint tribe members who had participated in the attack on the Heaven Destroyer base had already silently retreated. After that, the experts of the Battle Saint tribe all entered their mother planet. The entire Battle Saint mother planet moved towards the ruins of the universe. The entire Battle Saint tribe left the starry space and moved to the ruins of the universe. And just a day after the Battle Saint tribe released the news, the Buddha race, Devil race, and Spirit race also released news. Because the heavenly palace casually imprisoned their people and even secretly killed them, they decided to leave the heavenly palace. Also, like the Battle Saint tribe, they brought their mother planets and entered the ruins of the universe. The moment this news was released, the universe was in an uproar. Out of the top 10 races, 4 of them left the heavenly palace and entered the ruins of the universe. This was an unprecedented matter. In this case, including the Quasi-Saint tribe, only 5 of the top 10 races still obeyed the orders of the celestial race. At the same time, the various races felt a chill in their hearts. The celestial race actually did such a thing to the various races in the dark. To think that the various races were still working for the celestial race. Could it be that in the eyes of the celestial race, the various races in the universe were really ants that could be taken away as they wished? Many powerful races had different thoughts. They wanted to learn from the four races and enter the ruins of the universe to develop. Now that the universe had undergone such a huge change, the ruins of the universe were no longer deathly silent. The laws and profundities were no longer in chaos. On the contrary, it had become a cultivation holy land that was many times better than the starry space of the past. Now, if they could occupy a place and obtain an opportunity, they might be able to rise up in the future. Outside the Heaven Destroyer base, a towering wave of anger enveloped it. Damn it, lowly ants, they actually dared to betray us. They are simply courting their own deaths. Many Lord of Heaven of the celestial race roared angrily. Humph, the Battle Saint tribe, Buddhist race, Devil race, and Spirit race only dare to be so arrogant because they think that we are too busy to deal with them. I suggest that we immediately send out an army to annihilate these four races. A relatively strong and calm Lord of Heaven said. I also suggest that. Otherwise, these ants will think that the celestial race is easy to bully. Yi Qiuxian also said coldly. In the end, everyone's gaze turned to the Yi Immortal. The final decision was still made by the Yi Immortal. The Yi Immortal frowned slightly. If they sent out experts to kill the four races, the military strength of the Heaven Destroyer base would be reduced again. They had already sent out 10,000 divine masters. If they wanted to deal with the four races, they would need to send out at least 2,000 divine masters. The four races had been operating for many years. Moreover, they were on their respective mother planets with layers of formations. It wouldn't be that easy to break through. They would need to send out several times more combat power. It was the same when they broke through the dragon race's mother planet. If they sent out another few thousand divine masters, the military strength of the Heaven Destroyer base would be even weaker. There would only be about 10,000 divine masters left, and it would drag on for even longer. The Yi Immortal didn't want to see the situation change if they delayed. How long had it been since they attacked the Heaven Destroyer base? So many unforeseen events had already occurred. Who knew what would happen if they continued to drag on? The most important thing was to obtain the body of the human king. As long as they defeated the Heaven Destroyer base, they could easily destroy the Battle Saint tribe and the other races. Report, at this moment, someone came to report with an ugly expression. What's the matter? The Yi Immortal asked. Old ancestor, something bad has happened. We just received news that a force has appeared in the depths of the universe ruins. It is occupying a large amount of land in the universe ruins. The messenger reported. Chapter 4762. As soon as the news came out, the scene was in an uproar. The heavenly human race's experts' anger had yet to subside, but now, it was undoubtedly adding fuel to the fire. A force? Which force is so bold? Don't they know that the ruins of the universe belong to our heavenly palace now? A Lord of Heaven shouted angrily. According to the news, it's the quasi-saint race. The messenger replied. What? Quasi-saint race? You damned ant, how dare you? Trying to fish in troubled waters again? Aren't they afraid of being annihilated? The heavenly human race's experts were stunned at first, then they shouted angrily. Only the Yi Immortal was calm as if he had already known about it. The quasi-saint race has indeed made their move. The Yi Immortal whispered. Old ancestor, let's do it. Send out the army and destroy the quasi-saint race in one fell swoop. At the same time, we'll deal with the Battle Saint tribe and the Buddhist race. Someone suggested. The Yi Immortal raised his hand, and everyone quieted down. Don't worry about these races for now. The human king's body is the key. Continue to focus on attacking the Heaven Destroyer's base. As long as we get the human king's body and find the human king's heart, we'll be able to sweep through the ages. These small races are nothing to worry about. The Yi Immortal ordered. This, many heavenly human races experts hesitated. They were unwilling to do so because it was too shameful. If they didn't send people to suppress their betrayal, wouldn't they be laughed at? Wouldn't the other races be even more daring? This is an order. The Yi Immortal said coldly. Everyone had no choice but to accept the order. Also, pass down the order. Activate the 4 heavenly palaces and other important places and move them toward the ruins of the universe. In the future, the ruins of the universe will be our foundation. The starry sky of the universe is just a small place. The Yi Immortal continued to instruct. Yes. Everyone accepted the order and quickly started to spread the news. After a period of time, the heavenly palace started to move. The 4 heavenly palaces and important places like the illusion heavenly city began to move toward the ruins of the universe. When the news spread, the various races of the universe was even more shocked. Not long after, the news reached Lu Ming's ears. Lu Ming revealed a smile. To him, this was undoubtedly good news. The withdrawal of the Battle Saint tribe, Buddha race, Devil ancestor and Spirit race would undoubtedly weaken the strength of the heavenly palace. Each of the top 10 clans had at least 100 divine masters, and some clans even had close to 200. Now that they had left, the number of divine masters in the heavenly palace had decreased significantly. As a result, the Heaven Destroyer base was able to hold on for a longer period of time. And the Quasi-Saint tribe's attack would also bring great pressure to the heavenly palace. The Quasi-Saint race naturally didn't make a move to support the Heaven Destroyer. It was only for their own benefits. Now, the ruins of the universe were about to become a holy land for cultivation. All sorts of divine medicines and all sorts of heavenly treasures were being nurtured. It was about to become a holy land for cultivation. It would be a place that all the major powers would fight for in the future. Only by occupying the ruins of the universe would they be able to borrow the vast amount of resources here in the future to continuously produce experts and rise rapidly. The Quasi-Saint race must have also seen this point and thus made a move. However, it was also a good thing for the Heaven Destroyer. The more chaotic the universe was, the better. The more chaotic it was, the more chances the Heaven Destroyer would have. If no other powers intervened, the Heavenly Palace could attack the Heaven Destroyer with peace of mind. The destruction of the Heaven Destroyer was only a matter of time. The demon castle of Een ruins continued to fight with the Heavenly Palace's army. In the depths of the ruins of the universe, there was a huge group of continental fragments. There were a total of 50 continental fragments in this area. Among them, 49 continental fragments surrounded the largest continental fragment in the middle. These continental fragments were covered with arrays. When the arrays were activated, the surroundings became misty and this group of continental fragments was hidden in the void, making it difficult to discover. This was the base of the Quasi-Saint tribe, the headquarters of the Quasi-Saint tribe. The Quasi-Saint tribe had always been hiding in the ruins of the universe. Moreover, the continental fragment they occupied wasn't dead and was full of vitality. Moreover, the surrounding arrays had been modified by the ancestors of the Quasi-Saint tribe and were isolated from the outside world. Even in the past, the laws and profundities weren't chaotic. For countless years, the Quasi-Saint tribe had been flourishing here. They rarely appeared in the starry sky of the universe. Therefore, their numbers were extremely small and they were extremely mysterious. At this moment, in the largest continental fragment in the middle, a large hall was filled with people. These were the experts of the Quasi-Saint tribe. Most of them were peak almighty existences. Sangxiong, the peerless genius of the Quasi-Saint tribe, sat high on the main seat and looked down at the experts. In the era of the Origin Tribulation, the Origin Realm experts had all sealed themselves. Almighty was the peak. As the most talented person of the Quasi-Saint tribe and the son of the Patriarch, Sangxiong naturally became the temporary leader of the Quasi-Saint tribe. Young master, now that we have occupied 20% of the explored area, do we still need to send troops? A peak almighty celestial tribe elder asked Sangxiong. The ruins of the universe were vast and boundless. It was much larger than the starry sky of the universe. Even after countless years, only 1/3 of the explored area had been explored. 20% of the explored area was an unimaginably large territory. It was much larger than the starry sky of the universe, and there were countless continental fragments. It was enough for the Quasi-Saint tribe to reproduce. No, it's not enough. Continue to send troops and occupy more territory. Sangxiong said. Young master, if we continue, I'm afraid the celestial tribe will counterattack. Another peak almighty from the Quasi-Saint tribe said with a worried expression. Don't be afraid. In the eyes of the celestial tribe, the human king's physical body is the most important. They will definitely concentrate their forces to attack the Heaven Destroyer station. They won't be in the mood to attack us. Also, if we want to revive the supreme existence of our tribe, we need more resources. Therefore, we must occupy more territory and obtain more resources. When the supreme expert of our tribe is revived, the celestial tribe can be easily exterminated. Sangxiong said with determination and confidence. Of course, we don't need to overdo it. Just occupy 50% of the explored area. Sangxiong continued to instruct. Yes. The Quasi-Saint tribe experts received the order and continued to send troops to occupy more territory. This made the celestial tribe experts even angrier. Insatiable greed. The Quasi-Saint tribe is really insatiable. They should be exterminated. Kill, they should be killed. When the traitors are exterminated, the Quasi-Saint tribe will be exterminated. Many celestial tribe experts roared. However, Lu Ming and the demons of the Purple Eye and Silver Wing races gave them more headaches. During this period of time, the Heavenly Palace had lost about 500 almighties because of the encirclement of Lu Ming and the others. This made them feel heartache. These were 500 almighties, not divine emperors. Nurturing one almighty required a lot of resources. Although the demons' losses were not small, could the demons' lives be compared to the celestial tribes? You're tuning into the Biyao's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.